a bit in
Recording.
Watch Together as
Live chat. God, that's annoying. Last time this happened too, we lost viewers on the last video. And now I have to fucking combine two videos together again to fucking re-upload.
Yep.
Let me grab the link for this. Come on. Shareable link.
I put in the thing in the
Alright.
in your Discord already.
God damn, that's fucking annoying. Hello everyone, I see chat is starting up again.
Yeah, don't worry, I got the super chats, by the way. I've got them saved here.
Alright, cool, thank you.
We'll go through them.
Yeah. So to everyone in chat that just watched the stream die fucking randomly, the past several days my internet has been dying at random intervals for like a minute. And I was hoping it wouldn't happen today, but clearly I can't escape this fucking annoying bullshit.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm just... What was the last thing you guys heard from me, too, when we were talking? Because... the last thing...
Nothing. We paused at the what? And
yeah, because I was starting to fucking rant there about, you know, how do you say there's no significant new content when there's an entire faction path that you could choose which faction you want to side with? How do you even say Below Zero has no significant new content? That's just insanity.
Yeah. The last thing what? Yeah.
Alright, hopefully we've got this.
Apparently everybody, the last thing they heard from you was, what? And then it was over.
That's a good point to leave off on.
Dominic the Donkey asks, not to be rude, but do you have any idea why your internet is acting up?
No clue, unfortunately. It was acting fine for the past few months. Occasionally there would be like an internet issue where it would go down and you reset the modem. But it didn't happen often. But now it's been happening for the past several days, and I have no idea why.
All right, so let's get all the super chats out of the way that we had.
Yeah.
So a guy under a bridge gives $2 and says, Howard whispered, it just works and cut your throat. Dominic the Donkey donated $5 and says, I wake up to see you guys cover a bad Fallout video. I don't know whether to be happy or afraid with how bad it will be.
It's really bad so far.
Dylan G with $4.99 says, wandering traders like Crow still spawn where the Megaton Gate was to trade.
Yep, they still show up to the ruins of the town, which is fucking stupid. Yep. Just to go back to the guy under a bridge super chat, though, that just reminds me of the Lannisters send their regards.
Bethesda sends their regards.
Fuck, I guess I'm gonna post the link in the server again.
I did already.
Oh, you did? One. Cool.
And I did a ping for it.
Cool, thank you. Alright. Let me just get Watch Together back up then.
Yeah, that is so fucking... That's so annoying that happened.
Incredibly annoying. Anyways, let's just rewind this back a bit so we can hear the point again.
I rewound it back a bit. I rewound it back, I think, like 10 seconds.
Are you at 325?
Yeah.
I'm just going to rewind it a bit more because there's a bit more leading up to that.
Okay.
Oh god, that's a little too far.
Alright, no, that's fine. That's fine. Let's not fiddle with it.
Yeah, I just don't want to hear fucking Expandalone again.
Fallout 3. Albeit a very big, well-put-together expansion. New Vegas is similar to games like Far Cry Dragon, or that new Subnautica game where you're basically in the Arctic now. It's an expansion to the previous game that takes the elements of the first game and morphs them into something improved, but does not add anything entirely new or radically improve on the graphics or engine.
Okay,
which is absolute bullshit on all three games he's mentioned.
Okay, I haven't played Blood Dragon, so I can't comment on it, but I know for
Yeah.
a fact that Subnautica adds a lot of new shit. There's all kinds of new fish and enemies, and I still have to stream Subnautica Below Zero, but like there's the Sea Truck, which is an entirely new vehicle. Not to like this isn't even touching New Vegas, which has the entire fucking 4 factions. Fallout 3 didn't have.
Multiple joinable factions.
Yeah,
all.
exactly.
It didn't have ending choices either. Don't even give me that bullshit about spare Autumn, like kill Autumn thing. That is not a fucking ending choice.
No, it has literally no impact on the world. If you spare Autumn or if you kill him, the game gives the exact same feedback in Broken Steel, which is to say fucking nothing at all.
Yep. We need that fucking clip from Simpsons. Nothing at all. There's nothing at all. But yeah, I like this preview. I like the previous stream better. I did too. I kind of miss it. It was kind of homey. You know, we had about an hour under our belts, and then it was ripped away from us.
Yeah, I am very annoyed by that, because I said it before we started streaming again, but this means I'm going to have to take both streams and stitch them together again like the fucking Half-Life stream.
Yep. Yeah, it also did ammo types, ammo switching. It did gun customization and changes.
Yep.
Your fucking NPCs. You had companions that actually had like full-on storylines and everything you could follow and do. We talked about the reputation system. We talked about new entire fucking factions that didn't exist in Fallout 3.
Yeah.
Something Fallout 3 couldn't even do. Couldn't even come up with new factions.
I was about to say, fucking what? This guy's talking about new shit, not adding anything new. What did Fallout 3 add that was really new? They reused everything.
Fallout 3's new factions are fucking pathetic. The Talon Company is just a generic group of mercenaries who are always
Oh,
hostile. For all intents and purposes, they're just reskinned raiders.
Yeah, that's exactly what
Super Mutants aren't a new faction, but the Regulators are a new faction, and they hold one entire location that exists entirely for the Lawbringer perk. And they have... I think Lucas Sims is the only named NPC out of that location that is a Regulator. There's none others in the game. Just fucking pathetic.
Peaky the Cat with $5 says, this guy probably thinks that The Empire Strikes Back is an expansion for A New Hope. Yeah.
Well, shit, if he's going to make that argument, then Fallout 2 is just an expansion for Fallout 1. It's ridiculous.
Oh, wait, Sergeant Oddball's right. It's Republic of Dave. There's your new faction.
Is that a faction, though?
No, it's not.
No.
That's what I thought.
Fallout 3 made Yao Guai. Fallout 3 added Liberty Prime. Oh, no. Don't remind me about Liberty Prime and that fucking fiasco.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, we already talked about in the video how rare skill checks and stat checks were in fucking Fallout 3.
Oh, yeah, they're very rare. And most skill checks are just speech checks. There's very rarely when any of your other skills come up.
Yeah.
Very, very rarely.
New Vegas uses the same iteration of Gamebryo as Fallout 3 does, down to the UI design.
That doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, that doesn't matter at all. That
Again, if a UI works, this is one of those classic examples of if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If the UI worked and it showed what it needed to and it wasn't obtrusive and obnoxious, don't fix it.
Yeah, exactly.
By fix, this is when you start going into but we got to be something different. That's when you start getting into the fucking insanity UIs where they cover 90% of the fucking screen with useless fucking shit everywhere.
Or you get Fallout 4's UI, which is just fucking boring.
Yeah.
The weapons are recycled over from Fallout 3 down to the textures.
Whoa, okay.
There's a lot of new weapons.
There's a ton of new weapons.
Fuck ton of new weapons in New Vegas. What are you talking about? A lot of the weapons. Yeah, sure. The 10mm pistol and shit like that. Whatever.
Yeah,
fair.
Sure.
But are you going to tell me the caravan shotguns, the hunting rifle, the anti-material sniper rifle,
the grenade
Tesla
launchers,
cannon,
the varmint rifle,
the multiple lever action rifles you can get?
Yeah, because it's again, bring back the Wild West.
Oh my god.
I'll be
Dominic
right back.
Donkey with $5 says.
I'll be right
no,
back.
it's a new faction. Oh, okay. Dominic Donkey says for $5 says no, it's a new faction. I won't have, or I'm assuming won't have this slander against the Republic of Dave on this stream. Just kidding. Like, holy shit.
This dude is so fucking reductive. Oh my god.
I know.
This is so annoying.
This is insanely reductive. He has to ignore like 90% of the weaponry in New Vegas. So we can say they just basically copied all the weapons over.
Yeah, let's not acknowledge any of the like dozens and dozens of new weapons they've added, or the new weapon systems.
Yeah.
All this other new shit they've added. Actual story, actual fucking factions you can join. Fucking super mutants and other characters you can actually
The Wild Wasteland
to.
perk.
Yeah. All the shit that comes with that. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Fucking weather systems and some of the DLCs. Just come on.
They also added stuff like the boxing gloves, so you could knock enemies out without killing them, so you could do a pacifist run. Or a no-kill run, at least.
I was gonna say, it's not really pacifist if you punch them.
Yeah. But you can still do a pacifist run if you just don't attack at all.
Yeah, again, I guess I gotta agree with Dirks McGee. It's worse than reductive. He's demonstrably wrong. Yeah.
Yeah.
Features an entirely new game map, new weapons on top of the already existing ones from the previous game, new factions, and new sets of armors to go with them. But in spite of all of this...
Whoa, in spite of all this. Hold on. Dude, I can't believe he's gonna say that, like, this isn't, like, new or great or groundbreaking or anything.
He's already
Also,
melting your brain.
Yeah, Dylan G with $4.99
I was about
says,
to read that.
the Dave has marked you for death, and the Republic obeys. Ready yourself for battle. All right, let me backtrack a little bit, because, yeah, my brain went fucking, like, whatso land. I want to listen to this.
Yeah, just before we continue, though, $5 from Dominic the Donkey. Thank you. Peacefully punch them in the face with boxing gloves. You fucking bet your ass I'll peacefully punch their head off.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
Fallout 3 down to the textures. However, it also features an entirely new game map, new weapons on top of the already existing ones from the previous game, new factions, and new sets of armors to go with them. But in spite of all of this, it is still the same core game underneath.
No, it isn't.
No, it's not.
Fallout 3 is not an RPG.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an actual RPG with factions and characters.
And choices and consequences.
Yeah, Fallout 3 was not. It's not the same core game.
The entire story and all the quests you're doing are different from Fallout 3. You could only make this argument if New Vegas was literally the world of Fallout 3 with the new armors and weapons and stuff. You're still going to Megaton. You're still doing the water purifier. That would be the same game at its core. But it's not. It just has... Essentially, New Vegas has a similar skill system, but modified. It has a similar perk system, but it has actually decent perks rather than just skill bonuses. And it has a very similar gun system, but tweaked to be better.
Yeah, with a ton of new weaponry and modifications you can make to those weapons to personalize them to how you play. Just a fuck ton of stuff.
Yeah, it feels like he's just taking very minute things and saying like, oh, well, it looks similar. Oh, well, it has somewhat similar weapons and skill system. It's like, okay, but that doesn't make it the same core game. Otherwise, Fallout 1 and 2 would be exactly the same.
Exactly.
A guy under a bridge donates $2 and says, again, he thinks all we care about is the engine.
Thank you for the super chat. Yeah.
It's really feeling like that for sure.
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah. Guys,
it looks the same, so therefore it's the same game.
And it doesn't even look the same either. That's the thing that's fucking mind-blowing.
Yeah. We're only 4 minutes into this.
We're not ignoring things exist in Fallout 3. They're there, but as we said in the video, they are so inconsequential and so minute, they are not the core of what Fallout 3 is. Fallout 3 is a dungeon looter. Yeah. It is not an RPG.
Pretty sure this guy liked Amnesia Rebirth, I guess, and thought it was good. Oh.
Wow. Well, that's horrifying.
Yeah, that's horrible.
They did it's an expansion. It improved upon the originals.
I want to say Subba Dubba, but it's probably Subu Dubu. Gives 20 euros and says, "Just reinstalled New Vegas. Appreciate you guys."
Thank you.
Nice.
And glad to hear.
Nice.
Play the fuck out of that game.
By the way, for everyone
Hope you
thinking
enjoy
that we think New Vegas is perfect or there are enough flaws in it, oh boy, just you wait.
No. Oh yeah, no, we're gonna cover this at some point. It definitely.
Yeah, we are
has
gonna
flaws.
cover. We're gonna cover New Vegas sometime in the future, and boy howdy, are we gonna make everybody that thinks New Vegas is perfect mad at us?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I love New Vegas, but it's probably a 7 out of 10 at best.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a good game,
that's what I would
but
say.
it definitely has flaws.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait for when I finish this Aliens Fireteam review and give my review that's a 7 out of 10. It's like, but you talked about how much you love it. It's like, yeah, but I use the entire number system. I ain't fucking IGN with its 5 to 10 score.
Yeah.
NVIDIA GeForce Experience, Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas use some of the same image each other for its game optimization.
That's not on them, though. That's on NVIDIA, you fucking plebeian.
What the fuck is this guy?
Do you think that Obsidian goes into NVIDIA and is like, hey, we're going to program in these details for you in your system that's a third-party thing that doesn't affect our game at all? What the fuck? Adeptus Fantasticus says, with $10, thanks for covering this. Charlatan really needs help differentiating between the levels of effort Obsidian put in compared to Bethesda. Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you for the super chat. It's very much appreciated. And yeah, this seems to be an issue a lot of people have where it's just someone looking at the surface level aspects and they don't understand why there's so much love and hate for these two games.
Yeah. That was that whole thing of like, you just have to pretend New Vegas doesn't exist for a moment. And it's like, no, not at all. And then you brought up the perfect example of it doesn't rain in New Vegas and it doesn't rain in Fallout 3. And that's a bad thing in Fallout 3, but it makes sense in New Vegas.
Yeah, the desert, like Las Vegas in the real world hardly gets any rain. So if you're making a game that takes place in that setting, it makes a lot of sense for just to have the never rain there. It would be an disproportionate amount of effort to make it rain compared to the reward of having it rain like 1% of the time. It's just not worth it.
Yeah, and besides, the game already addresses the water issues and stuff. They run pipes from the Colorado. They have, sources of water, like natural sources of water from the springs and stuff. They address this stuff. Fallout 3 doesn't. It doesn't rain. It doesn't anything. Everything's in a radiated water puddle, yet everyone's alive. It makes no sense. And they did at least add they did add a weather system in Honest Hearts. When you go to Idaho, it does rain there sometimes.
Yep.
If you could talk to Todd Howard for an hour, what would you guys talk about? Man, I don't know.
I think I would say,
why do you lie so much?
Well, no, I'd say stop hyping things up. Stop looking at just the technical aspects. Start looking at the actual quality of your product and stop listening to Emil.
Yeah.
Seriously, stop listening to Emil. The guy that doesn't want you doing design documents, which explains why all of your games are a fucking thrown together mess. Yeah, don't listen to that guy.
Oh, yeah, I said Idaho. Yeah, I meant Utah. My bad. I meant Utah.
Idaho.
Utah.
Yeah, I was just say it's gonna be quite a ways away from the Mojave to go to Idaho.
Yeah, I get them switched around sometimes.
Man,
you got potatoes on the brain?
A little bit, yeah.
Potatoes.
Going back to that ML speech, so I still can't get over great games are played, not made. How the fuck do you make the cat quest and think this is good content? I don't get it. It
How
makes
do you
no sense.
play that? How do you play that and think that's good content?
Yeah.
Oh, this is real good.
No, really, the Fallout 3 GameWorks thing uses a lot of screenshots from New Vegas. They have the Hoover Dam in the screenshots for Fallout 3's game.
That's the...
Again, that
Oh
is
my
not on
God.
Bethesda or Obsidian, okay? That's on Nvidia, my dude.
The fuck is this guy talking about?
Dallas Trouble with 5 Polish Lodi says nothing. He just gave us 5 Polish Lodi. Well, thank you, Dallas Trouble.
Thank you. It's very much appreciated.
There is a lot of new stuff in New Vegas, but when you strip it down, it's basically Fallout 3. It reminds me a
No,
lot.
it's not.
How?
What the fuck?
How?
Explain how. You can't just say that and move on.
When
have
you
to
strip
actually
it down-
explain it.
Oh, man.
Like, how? How is it just Fallout 3?
Oh my
it's-
god.
It's one of those videos where someone just says, this is the way it is, and doesn't elaborate or provide
Yeah,
proof.
exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh
I
my
hate
god.
this. I hate this. This dude is more annoying than Oxhorn. Holy shit.
Oh god, he's more Looney Tunes logic, that's for sure.
Yeah, he is all over the place. What the fuck?
Again, especially, giving Obsidian shit for something that fucking Nvidia does.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Oh my god.
Games expansion pack, which for those of you that don't play Firaxis games, like say the XCOM or Civilization, a typical Firaxis Games expansion pack will often have the original game be one thing, but the expansion is so comprehensive that it completely reworks how the game is. Amazing examples of this: XCOM 2 versus XCOM 2 War of the Chosen. War of the Chosen cost 2/3 of what XCOM 2 base game cost, but it reworks the entire game, and it's an entirely different executable to the point of where your mods for XCOM 2 will not.
That's not why the mods won't work, by the way.
Yeah, that's
But,
not how it
okay.
works.
I haven't played XCOM 2, so I can't really comment much on it. Is it literally 2 different games like Subnautica and Below
No,
Zero? Or is it...
he's-
No, he's
No.
very overinflating how much is different. in
Yeah.
Okay,
War of
so-
the Chosen.
He's talking...
He's basically being like, New Vegas doesn't change anything, but this other game that also doesn't change much of anything changes
everything. Yeah, and it's like,
Yeah.
no.
Okay,
What?
so the expansion he's talking about is like it's actually part of the base game, right?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, that
kind of.
doesn't work
To
at
an
all
extent.
because
They add in like these super generals that come to fight you and stuff like that, and they make it a little bit more about like the aliens actually trying to track you down and hurt you.
well,
A lot more in War of the Chosen.
what I'm getting at more than anything is you start up XCOM 2 and you have access to this expansion. Similar to how you start up Fallout 3 and you have access to Operation Anchorage. Is that how it
once you
works?
get it. Kind of, yeah. Once you
Yeah.
buy it,
Okay,
it's
so
like you would with Anchorage.
so the problem with that is New Vegas doesn't change anything in Fallout 3. It doesn't
Yeah.
change like buying New Vegas doesn't
Give
fix
you
the
Fallout 3.
shooting in Fallout 3.
Yeah.
Just go grab these super chats quickly.
That's what I was gonna do.
$5 from Dominic the Donkey. Thank you. Also, not to mention the poorly spliced together voice line for the cat quest, or at least for the male character. I usually play female character, so I haven't noticed that myself, but
Oh my god.
if that is an
it's so
issue,
bad.
then yeah.
It's so bad.
And
Uh,
€5 from Dion Van Owini. I hope I said that right. In the cat quest, you can use a gun with sights to avoid having to go around the lake. What?
Oh, I think you can. I think I've seen that. Yeah.
What?
So like you can talk to it from a distance if you use like a scope.
Wow.
It's
Nice.
fucking dumb.
Charlatan Wonder has a bad reputation with tangents and takes things personally. I know I keep pestering you to watch his Fallout DLC tier list, but it really gives you an idea of this guy. Oh, that's unfortunate.
we're already given an idea of this guy, and it's not looking good.
Yeah, it's just
really
not
bad.
very bad impression.
For XCOM War of the Chosen. It's that intense. Like, I know, like, there's some pretty big expansions. Like,
it really
say,
isn't that
what
intense.
Frozen Throne was to Warcraft 3, but Firaxis really takes it up to 11. Where were we? This is a Fallout video, right? And
okay, so the thing you're clearly not realizing is that Frozen Throne is still part of Warcraft 3. It's not Warcraft 4.
Yeah.
New Vegas.
New Vegas isn't fucking Fallout 3 New Vegas.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god.
It's not. Yeah, you just said it the best. It's not Fallout 3 New Vegas. It's Fallout New Vegas. There is a big difference.
This. How can you look at this game and say it's the same as fucking Fallout 3? I just don't get it.
You
Again,
have to be incredibly delusional.
Again, it has to be just the surface level comparisons. Hey, this door and these hallways are in Fallout 3 and they're in New Vegas too. It must be the same game. It's the same character models, so it must be the same game.
Hey, you use a Pip-Boy in Fallout 3 and you use a Pip-Boy in Fallout New Vegas. It must be the same game.
Yeah, exactly.
The Brotherhood used doors in Fallout 3 and they used doors in New Vegas. They must be the same faction.
Yeah, it literally just sounds like, oh, well, they reuse some assets, so therefore it's the same game. There's plenty of games that reuse assets. Fucking Stalker does it all the time.
Yeah, we're going to get into a comment about that when we get to the later in the script of Skyrim as well, about copy-pasted assets.
Oh, boy.
Colin Archer with 100 rubles says, is this discount furry EFAP? Also, New Vegas is pretty cool, and Fallout 3 blows.
Thank you. No, I'm not a furry.
No, we are a discount furry EFAP, all of us.
I'm not.
Every single one.
No.
Even the humans. They say
No.
they're not, but they are.
He says no, but deep down, you look in those owl's eyes and you say, yes.
No!
Exactly.
God damn it. This was my exact fear for picking an animal to be my icon.
Man, I don't even care anymore. We get this comment about being furries every single time. I've just embraced it at this point. Fuck it, we are furry EFAP. I don't care.
No!
We need rags here. We need rags here right now.
Yeah, we need rags. We need... Hold on, here.
No.
I just need to be gayer. That's the problem. Hold on, let me find a more gay avatar real quick.
No! No! Please, God. I fucking refuse. No. What the fuck's an EFAP? They're a popular podcast that does pretty much the same thing we're doing right now. They actually
with
just
a much higher production quality. Well,
much higher than us, yeah.
Let's be entirely honest.
Hey, we're just a few assholes commenting on shitty videos. They're not. They're
They're full on critics and everything like that. Which, since you're a critic, once I finish this fucking Aliens Fireteam review, I'll be a critic again.
Well, it doesn't really take much to.
A long time ago.
It doesn't.
Comment. This is just 3 rags, no long man.
Oh.
Anyway.
Embrace your gayness.
No.
I do. I will. Don't worry, chat. I'm there for you. I will
actually,
shoulder this burden.
Wasteland Kitty does bring a point. By saying New Vegas stripped down as Fallout 3, he's conceding that New Vegas is better. He already said New Vegas is better in pretty much every way. He's just trying to claim that Bethesda did all the hard work.
Well, it's in the title of the video. It's in the title of the video. The only reason New Vegas is good is because Fallout 3 is good, which is fucking insane.
Yep. Oh.
Much like the core premise of the game is still effectively the same. You're a self-insert character that's sort of shoved out into the wilderness of the nuclear wasteland, and you have to find your way towards MacGuffin in order to become a player in the huge battle of the region where everything will be decided.
That is horrifically reductive.
That is crazy reductive. Oh my god.
Yeah, that is like ignoring every ounce of context you possibly can.
Oh.
Holy cow.
I had no idea how bad this video was going to be before we got into it. Oh.
This is dog shit, dude. Oh my god.
Yeah, that is one hell of a broad brush. That isn't even painting with a broad brush. That's taking the whole fucking canvas. Like, holy shit, dude. My god, by this same argumentation, you can put every single game in this exact same spot and say that, Oh, Oblivion is just Fallout 3. Oh,
Yeah, the game
Skyrim is just Fallout 3.
Yeah, you're shoved out into a world and you have to find the MacGuffin and you get involved with factions and blah 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 blah. It's
And the big dealings and happenings on in this universe.
yeah, you could say
Or
this
in
for
this world.
Fallout 1, Fallout 2, Morrowind, Oblivion,
You could say
Skyrim.
this to show you how reductive this is. You could say this about Dark Souls 1. That's how reductive this statement is.
Yeah, that's really fucking bad.
Peaky the Cat. Oh, nice.
$2 super chat from Peaky the Cat. Thank you. He's trying to have Fallout 3 ride New Vegas' coattails. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah. I mean, he literally said, like, they did all the heavy work. And
Yeah.
New Vegas
insanity.
just basically, oh my god, it's so annoying. It's so annoying. New Vegas made a better game than fucking Bethesda did in just 18 months when they had years. And then you got these people who are like, well, actually, Fallout 3 is better. They're just riding on the coattails of the success of Fallout 3. And it's like, no, they made an infinitely better game in far, far less time. Just give up. Just accept that Fallout 3 is just worse than New Vegas. Just accept it. Get over it.
I don't want to go.
Accept that Obsidian is better.
I don't want to go into it too deep with this comment, but I'd find it funny. And the reason I don't want to go too deep in is because Kratos hasn't experienced it. Dark Souls from Demo Man Chaos. Dark Souls 1 reused a fair bit from Demon Souls. So Dark Souls is just DLC for Demon Souls.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't want to go into too deep, but yeah, that's basically how reductive this guy is being.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is insanity.
Wait, this is also the core premise of Skyrim and Oblivion and...
Oh.
Oh my god, he did it!
Bethesda.
He did it! He did it! What are you joking about?
He fucking did it.
We said it as a joke,
He
but he
realized
meant it
how
in earnest.
stupid.
What?
Yeah.
How do you say that and then not realize how stupid your fucking argument is? Holy shit!
Yeah, good fucking job.
Oh
you
my
idiot.
god. That comment we got earlier about Empire Strikes Back being an expansion to fucking A New Hope. I think that was more accurate than we thought.
Unfortunately, it seems like it.
Oh my god, I can't believe he actually fucking did that. That's insane. So literally making fun of that, and he's just like, oh no, you know what? They are basically the same games because blah blah blah.
So, okay, my question then would be, how the fuck do you make an open world game where you get involved with large factions and not have it be a literal copy of Fallout 3 or New Vegas or Oblivion or Skyrim or fucking whatever?
Yeah. How? So, again, Witcher 3, to this guy's mind, Witcher 3 is the exact same as Fallout 3. Holy cow.
This is insane. Oh my god. This guy... Man, I thought Oxhorn was insane. This guy...
We'll go back a little bit. F3 UI, Beghart, we'll go back. He says, damn it, I wasn't listening. I didn't hear what the guy said that elicited this response. We'll go back a bit, because this is definitely one of those winners.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, no, back a little bit more, because that's where he starts talking about the canvas.
Oh, boy.
All right, here we go.
The game is still effectively the same. You're a self-insert character that's sort of shoved out into the wilderness of the nuclear wasteland, and you have to find your way towards MacGuffin in order to become a player in the huge battle of the region where everything will be decided. Wait, this is also the core premise of Skyrim and Oblivion and... Bethesda, why?
No, not Bethesda.
Again, you have reduced it so much that basically you couldn't have gotten more reductive. The only way you could have gotten more reductive is if you had said you play it with a controller or a mouse and keyboard on a screen.
Yeah, I was about to make that exact same fucking joke. That's how do you cut out everything and say, oh, they're basically the same?
Yeah.
Oh.
That
is a nuclear shit take.
You know what? Star Trek and Star Wars and Battlestar Galactica and
Babylon 5
and any sci-fi show, they're all exactly the same. They're just a story about people out in space doing things.
Yeah.
They're all just rip-offs of Fallout.
Fucking hell.
Everything is just a ripoff of Fallout 3. Let's be honest.
Yeah, everything clearly.
I didn't realize that Fallout 3 was such a god tier game that every other piece of entertainment media ripped it off.
Yeah, even including the ones that came out before it.
Yeah,
Yes.
especially the ones that came out before.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this is so bad.
Let's move on. The best way to boil this all down is that New Vegas is much more than an expansion than a full-on sequel. Yes,
it skipped there.
games.
Hold on.
Yeah, it skipped
He
for
said
me
it's much
too.
less than something, and then it just went. I was like, what?
You know what? Whatever. Let's move on. The best way to boil this all down is that New Vegas is much more than an expansion, but much less than a full-on sequel. Yes, expandalone games are usually a bit.
Oh my god, again with that fucking term.
One, it's not expand alone. This is not an expansion at all. You're saying it's much more than expansion, much less than the sequel. They didn't sequelize Fallout 3. They didn't want to be associated with Fallout 3.
Yeah,
Do you notice that it isn't called Fallout 4 New Vegas?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, it's a completely different game. Has nothing to do with Fallout 3.
Yeah, they wanted to get away from the East Coast shenanigans entirely.
I mean, I wouldn't even consider Fallout 4 to be a sequel to Fallout 3 in the sense that
I wouldn't even
doesn't
consider
take-
Fallout 3 to be a sequel to the other Fallout games. Fallout New Vegas feels like the actual Fallout 3.
Yeah. Because it's
Yeah,
taking
New
place in
Vegas
the
is a
same
sequel.
region, and you're dealing with
Yeah.
some of the same, not the exact same region, but close enough. You're dealing
You're
with
one
some,
state over. You're within. You're 300 miles.
yeah,
You're in the same area.
and it's
It
expanding on the
continues
stories.
story of like the
Yeah.
NCR and all this other
And the
stuff. Like,
Brotherhood and the Enclave. And again, it doesn't just shoehorn in. The Enclave aren't the big boogeymen anymore. They are
Yeah.
a faction that has been destroyed. This is the Enclave remnant. These are the people that barely survived the massacre at the oil rig in Navarro.
Yeah.
The Brotherhood of Steel are a faction that is destroyed. This is the last bastion of the Brotherhood. They aren't the powerhouse knights in armor walking around like they were in 1. 2 was them on the decline, and now New Vegas, we see what happens when they are a dead ideology, barely clinging to life.
Yeah, and they mention a total of like one line dedicated to like, oh, there was some group of Enclave out in the East Coast, but I hear the brother mopped them up or something, and that's
Yeah.
the extent you get of Fallout 3 reference.
Well,
of the
actually-
Enclave.
Actually, there's kind of another, not to the Enclave, but there's kind of another reference to the East Coast Brotherhood. Talking to Caesar, he says he's captured some of their men out east, and they don't even know like the origins of their faction.
Yeah.
It was
Which
really,
is so good. It's a good fucking, like, take that at Bethesda.
yeah, it's a really good jab.
Bit cheaper on, and that is often conflated with them being lesser to their games they're based on. But New Vegas is a special circumstance here because Obsidian Entertainment went the extra mile and then the extra mile after that, and so on. New Vegas takes everything from Fallout 3 and expands on it until it becomes its own standalone game. Another common
What does it expand upon? You keep making this claim.
So it doesn't.
Where is the Fallout 3 in New Vegas?
Yeah, it doesn't.
Besides the superficial.
I think the only things that you can even argue or expanded upon was like the weapons and the perks, because as far as anything story-based go, it doesn't expand upon anything that happens on the East Coast. It has
Yeah.
nothing to do with the water purifier. It has nothing to do with the East Coast Brotherhood. It has nothing to do with the East Coast Enclave. Of course, the smaller factions aren't mentioned, the Regulators and the Talon Company, because they're fucking nothing anyways. There's nothing about Megaton or Rivet City or Big Town or Republic of Dave or fucking anything else from Fallout 3 in New Vegas.
Or a water crisis or anything like that. You'd
Yeah.
think that the desert would have more to say about water crises. Well, yeah, a water incident than fucking the Capital Wasteland, which should be getting flooded constantly.
Yep.
Yeah.
staple in expandable out of the way of the story of the mainline games, which helps all parties involved here. Obsidian gets to pick up where they left off with the NCR and the west coast of the Atomic Wasteland, whereas Bethesda...
So, when you're saying they stay out of the way of the mainline games, no. New Vegas dove headfirst into the lore and world of Fallout 1 and 2, something Fallout 3 didn't do.
Yeah, Fallout 3 basically ignored most of the original games.
Yeah.
Except for what they could fucking pilfer for iconography, of course.
Yeah.
It's real fucking bad.
Continuity on the East Coast without pissing off any of the hardcore fans from the original games. Everyone is pleased and nobody gets kicked out of the canon or gets accused of ruining the pre-existing canon.
But fucking Bethesda gets the crowning jewel for ruining the canon.
Yep.
Yeah.
They fucked the lore sideways because they aren't good at lore. Intentionally so, which is the most frustrating thing about people that defend Bethesda's lore writing and even the Elder Scrolls games.
Yeah.
They purposely want lore to be as fucked up and awful and horrible as possible so that anything fans say can be true.
Well, not just that. It's so they don't have any restrictions on writing, too. It's so they could do whatever they want entirely on a whim without having to be like, oh, wait, the lore says this doesn't work, so we can't do this way. They just want an easy ride for writing their stories, is what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's just an easy escape route. It's just, well, we could do this because our lore is fucked anyway, so we could do whatever we want.
I mean, the worst part is they don't even need to break their lore in many cases for stuff to work. Even if you take something like Kid in a Fridge, you know? This pretty infamous issue at this point, but it ruins the ghouls of Half-Life 1 because Half-Life 1 proves to us that ghouls need water to survive.
The ghouls of Half-Life 1?
Half-Life... Ah! Fuck. My brain is melting, sorry. The ghouls of Fallout 1 needed water to survive. And Kid in a Fridge ruins this by having him be trapped in a fridge for 210 years. You know what the intelligent solution to keep this quest pretty much exactly the same would be? Have him trapped in there for a few fucking days.
Yeah.
It solves everything.
Yeah.
Just say he fucking went over there, got curious, got tricked or something, or the door closed behind him somehow, and he
was hiding from a monster or from a group of mercenaries.
There's Mirelurks everywhere. Yeah, just say he was getting swarmed by Mirelurks, so he hid in a fridge.
It would be such an easy fix, but no, they had to go with the absolute most stupid bullshit they could. It's 210 years trapped in a fridge. $5 super chat from the great Azul. Thank you. It's extra hilarious how important the water crisis is in Fallout 3 when the East Coast just got historically flooded less than a week ago. Did it really?
Yeah, they had the hurricanes came through.
Yeah.
Oh, right. I forgot about that already. My bad. But yeah, it's...
I agree. The Combine was a weird inclusion in Fallout 3.
Guys, I fuck things up from time to time. I'm sorry.
We all do, man. I literally called Utah, Idaho a few minutes ago, so...
Yeah, that's true. The ghouls in Star Wars needed water to survive.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Improves on nearly every aspect of Fallout 3. Obsidian already had all the heavy lifting done by Bethesda for making the Fallout.
You keep saying that, and yet you have not proven it.
I'm pretty sure he's just referring to the same thing everyone refers to. Oh, a lot of the models were already made. The shooting system was already there. It just needed to be tweaked.
Amazing how Bethesda could never tweak it in the entire time they had Fallout 3 and all of its fucking DLCs.
Yeah.
Plus, that's kind of not the thing that people recognize Fallout New Vegas for, was the mechanics or the way it looked. It was the stories it told and the characters you meet. Like like an
and
RPG.
Actual consequences you have.
Yeah, it's almost like it's an actual RPG, and Fallout 3 isn't, and that's what people focus on, not the superficial, well, hey, it looks similar and they use similar assets.
Yeah.
Oh my god, no one fucking cares.
That's the thing, though. Peaky brings up a point. If he repeats it enough time, it will become true. It's a tactic that's used in courts a lot, where they do stuff like confirmed plagiarist or confirmed thief, stuff like that. You know, and if you repeat it over and over and over again, it gets stuck in the jury's mind. And in this case, the jury is the audience watching his video.
Well, it works too because a lot of people
it
argue on these
does.
points. A common
It does,
one a common response I've seen is when you mention that Obsidian only had 18 months to make the game, the most common fucking response you'll see is, well, they already had most of the assets from Fallout 3 anyways. They already had everything modeled anyways. Well, no. First of all, a lot of new models were added to New Vegas and textures and everything. Sure, the cars and some of the junk items and some of the weapons and the character models, but there's a lot of new shit in there. That can't be understated.
Yeah. Feeds and speeds, it's about the same for us as well. Not Setch, but me and Cree, we got introduced to Fallout from Fallout 3, so we do kind of have like that.
Yeah, not me.
Yeah,
I was a Fallout
me and Cree,
1 and
we
2.
do kind of have like, you know, like what he's saying, where it's like, oh, we do have a bit of a soft spot for it, but only because it was our first one and because we kind of enjoyed roaming the wastes of it for a bit. But when you actually look at it objectively, it is just a shit game.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, that's the thing. And again, we emphasize this every time. You can like Fallout 3. You can love Fallout 3. That's not the point. We're talking about objective qualities here.
But even this guy says that's all. This guy even says that that's the only reason he liked it was because he liked wandering around the wasteland. That was the only reason that he considered it enjoyable, which is the same for us, really.
Not for me.
Not for you.
I'm
not including you.
I was very much on the Fallout 3 is the shipmobile train from almost the start, and mine was the very first fucking announcement trailer for Fallout 3. Immediately pissed me off.
Yeah.
And it was when they showed the fucking vertibird landing and the Enclave piling out, and I was like, motherfuckers, what?
Unfortunately, I was just a dumb kid back then, so I didn't even know about like the franchise. I knew it was the third game in a series, but I didn't even know what the other games were. I just saw, a new interesting looking game.
Hold on. Dragout Dot says objective quality is your opinion. No. Objective quality is objective quality. That is not an opinion. It is a fact.
Objective quality can be measured. It can be proven. It is something we can actually point
which is what
out and show you.
Which is what Kratosis did with his fucking Fallout 3 is not better than you think it is video.
Yeah.
You can go through and objectively prove that Fallout 3 is not a good game.
Well, let me just give a real simple example. You can prove those stories objectively bad if there's certain like contrivances or plot holes or things that just don't work. So my example would be Bob goes to the store. Bob gets his fucking head blown off with a shotgun. Bob goes home and eats dinner. The story is non-functional because when Bob got his head blown off, he's dead. He cannot go home and eat dinner. But this story still says Bob goes home and eats dinner. The story is objectively broken.
That is not an opinion.
Yeah. That's not a subjective opinion. That is an objective fact that can be proven.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what to tell you, dude. Lunarctic says, why do you want to be wrong? And he's saying it to Dragao.
But anyways, yeah, there are a lot of objective flaws in terms of writing for both Fallout 3 and 4. I'm sure there's some in New Vegas too that I'll probably find once I start digging into that game for an analysis.
When we go into the deep dive with that, I'm looking forward to that because, man.
But the main difference is that New Vegas still gets a hell of a lot more right than it gets wrong. And Fallout 3 and 4 are on the opposite scale. They get a hell of a lot more wrong than they get right. Oh, man.
F3 UI Begheart says, oh shit, it's going fast. There are objective facts that people have their own subjective feelings or opinions on. Yeah, that's fair. But again, that doesn't change the fact.
Yeah, it doesn't change anything.
Well, yeah, you can see, like, a horrible plot hole in a movie or a game, and like objectively the plot hole is there, but subjectively you might not care about it and still enjoy the property for what it is. That's fine. We're not arguing against that.
Yeah.
He says he was just kidding.
Nah.
Lol, epic troll. We got trolled.
Well, still, we had the discussion.
It still led to a discussion, so fuck it.
I know. I'm just joking. It's just funny when they're like, when they say something like that, and then they say, "Well, I was trolling." They could have been, but it's hard to tell if they were being serious or if they just can't,
Or my favorite meme, where that's the guy with the like sad face, everything, and he's got the troll face over top of it, and he's like, "I was just kidding."
Yeah, exactly. Like that's what I think of when I see this stuff most of the time.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So they got to just improve everything in this game. A good way to describe all the improvements made in Fallout New Vegas compared to Fallout 3 is anytime you were playing Fallout 3 and said to yourself, man, I really wish Fallout 3 had blank, New Vegas likely has that in the game. We can go down the line of all the things.
That is super anecdotal.
Not only that, but like, again, the video is titled New Vegas is only good because Fallout 3 is good. So you haven't proven how Fallout 3 is good here. What you've said is you might find something you think could be improved and New Vegas just did it, which is that doesn't say Fallout 3 is good.
Yeah. And it's funny, it's like, and every time you've said, boy, man, I wish I had a cheese taco here. Just follow New Vegas. Give me a cheese taco. No, charlatan. Oh, I guess you're wrong.
Well, no, he's talking in game.
I know what
for
he's
example,
doing,
but like,
I know what he's doing. But again, it's that same thing of like, it will likely have it. Is every thought that you ever wanted. It's the same thing he did earlier with the.
Okay, so I feel Fallout 3 is lacking big titty anime waifus. So does Fallout New Vegas have it?
Yeah. Oh, God.
Things in Fallout New Vegas avert improvements from Fallout 3. Are you annoyed that you only get this weak zoom when you're trying to shoot, and you only get an actual zoom if the weapon has a predetermined scope on it? Well, now in New Vegas, you can zoom on all your weapons by aiming down sights, so you can have an idea of what the heck you're shooting at right now.
Okay, so New Vegas improved upon garbage.
Yeah, and did you know that that's technically a natural phenomena? Like, you don't literally, your eye doesn't literally zoom, but your eye focuses better when it has something that's closer to it to build off of.
Yeah.
It's why a lot of measuring tools back in the medieval ages were just like 2 or 3 pegs, stuff like that, and they would judge distances based off of that, because your eye will actually refocus itself to look further away. It is a weird phenomena, but it is an interesting one.
Also, I like how he's saying like that adding basic mechanics that have existed long before Fallout 3 are somehow like these big, huge improvements and stuff. It's like, I wouldn't even say that they were improving upon Fallout 3. I would say they're just adding basic mechanics that Fallout 3 should have had.
Yeah, they're bringing it up to a baseline. There's no reason Fallout 3 shouldn't have had iron sight aiming. It's insane. The Fallout 3 in 2008 didn't have fucking iron sight aiming.
John Doe says, the phenomena he is describing is known as the focal length of the eye. Thank you. Yeah, it is a fascinating phenomena, and it is, like, so that whole thing where people that never fired guns anymore, what the fuck? Have never fired guns before, they think, like, oh, why would you zoom in? Like, that seems so unrealistic. It's like, no, your eye kind of does that when you start focusing down the sights because of the way it plays off of the reticles and the posts. It is kind of weird and disorienting to get used to. And it's that whole notion where if you flinch a millimeter, you're off by an inch, stuff like that. It's why they drill into you. Sight picture is vital on firearms.
Yeah.
Do you wonder how around getting clean water, yet all you ever need to do to survive is to just inject stim packs into your arm until you explode? Well, Fallout has an actual survival system now in it with a hardcore mode. And
what? What?
He's saying that because Fallout 3 didn't have a survival mode and Fallout New Vegas put in a survival mode, it's just expanding on Fallout 3.
No, the fact that people need to drink water to survive
It's not
in a survival
not an
game,
insane concept, yeah.
kind of, you should just have that. Not really need to expand from anything. You kind of just have that.
Dursley says if you miss by an inch, you miss by a mile. Well, you might as well, honestly.
Yeah,
Dude, yes. Flinching before you shoot or actually pulling the trigger instead of squeezing the trigger. Oh, boy.
Yeah. I had to teach my cousins that. They didn't understand that. I have a 22 I've been trying to teach them with, and oh my god, they want to jerk it. I'm like, don't jerk it. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Like,
It should be a smooth, crisp. Yeah. Just picture that you're like squeezing a stress ball. You don't want to move your hand at all. When you pull the trigger, you actually pull your wrist back, and you're going to go real high.
Yeah. Well, that's the problem with new time shooters. They get really scared. You know, they act like it's going to bite them. And I'm like, it's not going to bite you.
Do you know what we did in the Marines to get people over that fear?
What?
So, we went to the ranges. They load up your M16 for you, and then they tell you to take it in both hands and put the buttstock to your groin.
Oh.
And they say, pull the trigger. And you get to feel the recoil. And it's like, yeah, notice how it didn't blow your fucking balls off when you fired? Yeah, stop being a baby. It ain't going to hurt you.
Yeah. Now, unfortunately, one of my cousins has been completely turned off from guns because she thought she could fucking fire a muzzleloader with no problem, and I kept telling her, "You're not shooting the muzzleloader. It's gonna the scope is gonna impact you in the skull, and you're gonna have a black eye for the next week." And she was like, "No, I can handle it. I can handle it. I've shot the 22 and the shotgun and stuff. I can handle it." I'm like, "No, you can't. You can't handle the muzzleloader. It has like 5 times the kick of the shotgun that you shot." But she doesn't understand that, and her dad, for whatever reason, was like, "No, just let her learn her lesson." And I was like, that is a terrible idea. She should not learn her lesson that way. But he let her do it, and yeah, she got cracked right in the face with the fucking scope, and it actually like cut her forehead. And I was like, God fucking damn it! Yeah. I was like, I knew that was gonna happen, and then I was mad. I was actually mad at my uncle more than anybody because I was like, why did you let her do that? You knew that was gonna happen.
As Roachbait FNV says, slow is smooth, smooth is fast. I love that quote.
I once again have no input because I'm a Canadian who's never fired a real gun.
Which we need to change that. We need to have you fire.
Come down here and let me. I have so many guns that you can try. I will take you out to the shooting range and I will let you just use all of my weapons.
Sounds fun. Anyways, yeah, the point he just made was a little bit fucking insane. You didn't have to drink water in Fallout 3 to survive, but New Vegas adds a survival mode. What the fuck is even this point?
Therefore, it's just an expansion on Fallout 3. It's like, what?
And playing normally, there's an actual survival skill that you can do things with, like say, make more bullets for your guns, make home remedies, and cook, and do all sorts of science stuff. You can make your own chems. There is an actual survival aspect to the game now, instead of just click on the stim pack item repeatedly to bring yourself back from the brink. Ever wonder why the nice things you do in Megaton had an effect on what happened in Rivet City?
Whoa. Let's wind that back.
Did he just say that the effects you do had the things you do in Megaton
I think
have an effect on Rivet City?
Yeah, the pronunciation kind of threw me off there, but
instead of just click on the stim pack item repeatedly to bring yourself back from the brink. Ever wonder why the nice things you do in Megaton had an effect on what happened in Rivet City? And
No, they never fucking did. Never.
What are you talking about? Yeah.
What the fuck are you? What game did you play? Genuinely, what fucking game did you play? Because I'd like to play that game. The fact that some of my actions could impact something in another town, but not in Fallout 3. What?
Oh god, that is so fucking weird. Like, and he's just saying it like the nice things you did. It's like, if you want to get down to it, anything you do that gives you positive karma does things for you when positive karma is ever taken into account, which is rare. Oh, it's so fucking weird.
Oh man,
did you mean Riviciti?
I mean, it is pretty shitty, to be honest.
Yeah, he said Megaton, and I'm like, I have never heard anybody pronounce Megaton that way before.
Neither have I.
Again, that's not really making fun of a thing for him. It's not Mirnon.
Yeah.
Like, it ain't that level. But
Yeah.
it's one of those like weird oddities that stands out, and you're just like, what?
I thought maybe he was like making a jab at the town because it's all made of like tin metal and scrap, but maybe I don't know. I don't know.
You can blow up Megamind in Fallout 3.
No, not Megamind.
But yeah, nothing you do in Megaton affects Rivet City at all.
Yeah,
The
no, I
fuck
can't
is
think
this
of
guy
anything.
talking about? I'm sure he's gonna provide a fucking reference for that.
Yeah, let's
Well,
see.
yeah, let's find out.
He's definitely not just going to move on to the next point without elaborating at all.
Yeah, not like he's done that a million times already.
Well, it's probably Free Dog's radio show, if we're being honest. But now there's a localized reputation system where things you do with a certain faction will directly affect how that faction treats you. And factions have rivaling interests. Be nice.
Okay, so nothing you do in Megaton makes Rivet City treat you in any way
Any
that's
different.
different. In
Yeah.
fact, you could go into Megaton and Rivet City and start fucking murdering people all willy-nilly. And if you leave for a few hours and come back, they'll just be chill with you.
Wait, this is definitely one of those Wikipedia moments where you put like over his video citation not given.
Yeah, citation needed. Oh.
And I like
Holy
how
sh-
I like how he's basically just like going through this video and being like, yeah, New Vegas is better in every single way compared to Fallout 3, and I'm gonna keep saying that, but actually Fallout 3 is still somehow better.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Yeah.
It's not even that he's saying Fallout 3 is better. He's just trying to say...
He's saying that Fallout 3 did all of the work. And it's
Yeah,
like, no,
he's
it
like-
didn't.
It didn't do anything.
In fact, if anything, all he's highlighting is all the work that went into New Vegas to make
Yeah,
Fallout...
that they had to do to actually fix everything.
Yeah.
It's just fucking crazy.
Yeah. You can't even
Fuck.
say it's an asset flip entirely because it has so many new assets in it. So to be like, well, the whole game was just built off of Bethesda's assets. It's like, no, it wasn't. They have made tons of new assets. Many of the fucking rocks and stuff that you see aren't even from the fucking Fallout 3. So what are you talking about?
Azure Fairy says, "Oh my god, it gets worse with every stream. I'm afraid to see any of the new videos you check. It is just creepy."
Yeah, I feel like we're just going more and more insane with these people.
I didn't expect that this was somehow going to be worse than the Half-Life 2 take.
Dude, how the
I
fuck
didn't
did...
expect-
How did... Genuinely, how the fuck did we start off with Oxhorn's shitty video saying critics are fucking poison?
Yeah,
And
have-
that's
have
the
a
best
disease
one
in
we've
their
covered.
brain.
And that's the best one we've covered.
Yeah, it feels more like Oxhorn is just toxic more than he is anything, and a liar, whereas this guy is just insane. This guy just doesn't know what reality is.
This is
yeah.
like Bizarro World.
Oh yeah, you missed the fucking Half-Life 2 video, Pagan. That was...
Yeah.
Oh my god, what a fucking wild ride that was.
Insanity. Yeah.
Oh my
Dude.
god, I'll need to watch that stream. I'll just watch it and see what it was like.
Just to give you an impression, at one point the guy says, you could try to change my mind. I'm a pretty reasonable guy, but I'm not going to change my mind.
Yeah.
Well, then you're not very reasonable, are you?
Exactly.
What the fuck?
I liked the people that made Half-Life 1 were trying something new and interesting. The people that made Half-Life 2 just read the Wikipedia page and added a bunch of fan servicey bullshit.
Well, that's not even the worst one. It gets better.
Half-Life 2 only exists because they ignore that Half-Life 1 existed and anything happened there at all.
Dude, you're missing the best quote. Half-Life 1 was an organic, innocent game.
Yeah.
What the fuck does that even mean?
What?
Yeah, that was...
Wow, I have got to watch that stream. Holy shit.
Yeah,
It was
it's a fucking
brutal.
wild ride.
What the fuck?
It was a wild fucking ride.
That is insane.
Dude, oh no. And it is even better one.
Oh?
Half-Life 1 was a quiet and contemplative game. He talks about the fucking car in Blue Shift about you come upon the SUV. You see that the hazard lights are flashing. The guard just barely made it out. Bullets have passed through the windscreen, and the scientist lies dead in the passenger seat. It is a truly tragic scene that makes you reflect upon what must have happened here. And then I immediately go, yeah, I can do that too, motherfucker. You come upon the giant red barn. It has the symbol of the resistance on it, the lambda symbol. You turn off the airboat. Its engine quiets down. There's nothing but silence coming from above. You slowly climb the stairs and look inside to find nothing but the corpses of the dead as they begin to rise from the head crab canister off in the corner. A radio desperately calling in the distance, wondering what happened to their friends. It's like, I can do it too, motherfucker, in Half-Life 2.
Yeah, the dude is just...
God.
There's stuff to criticize Half-Life 2 for, of course.
Yes,
but
the airboat itself is an easy criticism. Get that airboat. Fucking tear that shit apart.
Oh yeah, and chat, don't forget the awkward pauses. So apparently in normal conversation, if you pause for like 0.03 seconds, that's an awkward pause. Waiting for the camera.
Applause, yes. I kid you not. He did the, hey, Gordon, it's me, Barney, from Black Mesa. Hey, sorry about the scare. I had to put on the show for the cameras. I'm way behind on my beating quota.
Yeah,
Every time Barney stopped, he had to put awkward pause on the screen.
Yeah.
Hey, Gordon, awkward pause. It's me, Barney, awkward pause. From Black Mesa, awkward pause for the camera. Oh, sorry about the scare. I had to put on the show for the cameras. Awkward pause. I'm way behind on my beating quota.
And
awkward pause mug for the camera. It's like, what?
And the words pop up and disappear so fast, it's literally blink and you miss it.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, it's insane. $2 super chat from the great Azal. Thank you. Ox says, I swear I'm not a homophobe. Video is crazy.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that. Anyways, let's get back to this.
Yeah, we're gonna get back to this video. We went off on a wild tangent. Welcome to the Wild Tangent Hour.
Oh yeah, just so everyone knows, we go off on tangents a lot. It's just part of natural discussion. But we needed a little bit of a break from the insanity.
No. And then the other best one, the one that was like demonstrably false. He even proved it in his own fucking video.
Oh boy.
Hey Gordon, you dropped this at Black Mesa. Here's your crowbar. Isn't it way better than any firearms?
Yeah.
It's like, nobody ever said that. What the fuck? You even show the scene in full. What the fuck are you on?
Yeah, it's fucking insane.
Yeah.
Nice to good spring hangers. Hate the Legion? Become friends with the NCR. Now there's not only just a karma system, but you also have an actual reputation in various towns.
There is no karma system.
Fox, the friendly
New
super
Vegas.
mutant, might just...
Yes, there is.
Is there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just
I don't
not
remember
utilized. It's just not utilized nowhere near as much as
okay.
Fallout 3.
Yeah. It's there, but it doesn't really play a huge role.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, I totally forgot that there's a karma system at all in New Vegas because I focus more on the reputation.
Well, you
The
could get...
reason I know that there is because I always found it weird that when you shoot the ghouls outside of near the highway patrol station, you get good karma for some reason. But that's like the only ghouls that give good karma when you shoot them. I always thought that was really weird.
Well, there's some other cases like that too. Like killing the fiends will give you good karma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, Oxhorn has already cornered the EFAP market. Nice. Oh, they say it can affect end slides in the DLC. Okay.
Yes, that's what I was going to mention.
Maybe the reason I didn't notice it is because I have a hard time not being a good person.
Well, not just the
I can't help
DLC.
myself.
The end slides for each of the 4 major factions get different end slides based on your karma. Like, if you're evil and you do the house ending, it says something to the effect of house fears you a little bit because of the insane evil you've done.
Oh wow, I didn't even know that. Holy
yeah,
shit!
See, like I said, I can't bring myself to do like horrifically evil things. I just can't do it.
Either. Yeah.
So
what you're saying is you nuke Megaton every single time, right?
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
That ain't evil. That's called, that's called Darwin.
Yep.
Companion ever. Between his Gatling laser, that's a fire hose of death, combined with shouting Zen Buddhist proverbs as across the wasteland, purging all that is evil. But don't you wish you could find out more about his story? Well, now in New Vegas, all the companions have their own side quest line where you can learn about them, form relationships with them, become their best friend, sort out all their emotional baggage. You can do it all.
Yes, it's almost like the developers thought about their characters a little more than not at all.
Yeah. Than being
Almost
glorified
like it's
fucking damage/tanks.
Described
this problem doesn't even go away in fucking Skyrim.
It doesn't even fully go away in Fallout 4 either, by the way.
Yeah, this is fucking insane.
Couple of companions in Fallout 4 do get a bit of love, but not all of them by any fucking means. I've described the companions in Fallout 3 before as, a turret with a backpack or a pack mule with a gun, because that's what they are. They get, like, the most bare minimum of a backstory to them. Who is Jericho? He's a retired raider. Who is, Clover? She's a slave. Who is... Fuck, I'm trying to remember, any of the other companions, really.
In 3?
Yeah. Fox is just a super mutant who isn't insane. That's literally his entire character.
Butch, but you basically know Butch from the beginning of the game, so...
Yeah.
He's the only one and that has a bit of a backstory more than anyone else. And that's only because he was a character that showed up before.
Yeah. Jericho could have had a good backstory, too. A retired raider. God, there's so much you could do with that. There's so much you could do with that, and they just did literally nothing with it. Absolutely nothing. It
genuinely could have been interesting. Especially since you need evil karma for him to be a companion. So, there's so many story beats you could do with that, whether you're pushing him back to the evil side, or whether you try and find a way to redeem him, or fucking whatever else. There's so much you could do. And they just don't.
And you could find out, what caused him to go from, being a raider who lived probably with other raiders to becoming a retired raider who lives in the middle of a lawful town.
Yeah. What made him decide?
How do you go from that to this?
What made him decide to just say fuck it and go live in a town?
Yeah.
Fox has a backstory and personality. Does he? I mean, honestly. Think about Fox entirely, and just think about him as a character and his backstory and personality, and think, does he actually have one?
The most they give is that he was trapped in the vault and treated differently because he was smarter, and he will help you because you free him, and he likes to quote random proverbs that he learned on the internet.
Yeah.
How the fuck did he even learn those?
He says that he has a terminal that has limited access to certain things, and he just read them over and over again and just ingrained them into his head, which is why he got smarter. And I don't know, it's really weird. He just says
point is, there's pretty much nothing to Fox as a character.
There's really not much.
His character is that he's one of the only non-insane super mutants in a world full of insane super mutants. They think that is fucking compelling enough alone.
It's not. It really isn't.
It's,
Compare that to Lily.
Oh, yeah.
It's just no comparison.
At all. They're nowhere near the same tier.
Hell, Marcus isn't even a companion, and I consider him more of a companion than Fox.
Well, Marcus is a companion in Fallout 2, but...
Yeah,
he's...
But not in New Vegas.
Not in New Vegas, but there's so much characterization to him, and just the fact that, you walk up on this town and there's a super mutant standing there. If you haven't played any of the other Fallout games besides Fallout 3, and then you talk to Marcus, and he's well-spoken, he has a normal voice, he isn't screaming all the time like this to say every word, and then he's like, oh, hey, there's a group of mercenaries down the road who want to start trouble with us so they can wipe us out. Can you tell them to go away? Please don't kill them, because I'll just give them a reason to attack us. Like that says so much alone about how the super mutants in Fallout New Vegas are treated as compared to Fallout 3.
God, I love Marcus. Marcus is such a good character.
He is. Oh my god.
Yeah, this will be great when we actually get to go into the analysis of it. Then we get to talk about why all these things work too.
Yeah.
I look forward to it because right now this Skyrim video is misery.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm barely working on it with you guys, and I'm just like, I don't want anything to do with it. I don't want anything to do with it.
Yeah, it is miserable.
Yeah. Very painful. Very, very painful. Anyways.
And these are just a few of the that have been rapidly improved in New Vegas and allow you to enjoy the Fallout game even more. The place where New Vegas really shines is by taking a balance pass at all the previously existing weapons and combat system. A big problem in Fallout 3 is that towards the end of the game, you're going to end up only using a small handful of weapons because how certain enemies just scale up was level like in Oblivion. I have no idea why in Point Lookout enemies can take out half of my HP in one shot despite the fact that I'm level 28. But if I steal their weapons, bring them to full repair, and then try to hit them back with those weapons, I barely register on their damage.
It's almost as if Bethesda's fucking level scaling is a really, really bad idea, and they should stop fucking doing it.
And Point Lookout fucked it up even more because they get a plus 15 damage bonus to all enemies in that fucking DLC.
Yeah.
So they automatically do more damage than you by default.
Well, like many things, I think the level scaling thing is supposed to be a precision tool, and the problem is they're using it as a fucking blanket on the entire game.
Yeah.
That is a big problem alone. Like, it makes sense for certain areas to be leveled. Like, you're going into a main quest area, and, well, if you leveled up by doing a whole bunch of side shit, then those level 2 rats aren't going to be much of a challenge, so let's spawn in some fucking, I don't know, any enemy type that would be more fitting for being level 20, for example.
Oh, God.
Because the way they did level scaling in Morrowind worked fairly well. Not perfectly, but fairly well. After Oblivion, everything scales like directly to you. Certain characters will be like always plus 15 levels to what you are. And yeah, it's just not really good the way they handle it.
Yeah. And it's really annoying when you get the DLCs and it goes from like, oh, well, there used to be mole rats here and now there's Yao Guai, but now there used to be Yao Guai, but now there's albino rad scorpions that are just the tankiest fucking things you'll ever fight in a video game.
Yeah, and that's the other thing we've talked about before. Bethesda seems to think difficulty means more health for the Sorry. You do less damage to enemies and they do more damage to you. That's what Bethesda thinks difficulty is. And it's a really shitty way of handling difficulty.
It really fucking is. Like I said, guys, I'm doing Skyrim on Legends so we can just get that. We can definitively say that the game is not difficult. It's fucking tedious.
I wouldn't have the patience to do it on Legendary. I'm already fucking sick of this game.
Dude, I kind of wish you were awake for when we did the stream the other day, and I did the fucking hamster song as I attacked Winter. Oh my god, the fucking capital of the Stormcloaks. God damn it.
Windhelm.
Windhelm, yes. I attacked Windhelm and I had the fucking hamster dance song going because I was like, let's give this entire battle the music more appropriate for it. How this fight's gonna go. So you just hear so going through the street.
You could have also used the terrible Resident Evil basement music, or you could have used the world map theme from the Museum of Anything Goes.
Yeah, I don't know. I just thought the hamster dance would fit.
Yeah,
I used to always only play Skyrim on Legendary difficulty, but that was because I used to do the thing that I was telling you guys about before, where you would upgrade your weapons and armor to be like super ridiculous. You could just one-shot everything.
Well, I can't upgrade weapons because this is a magic only one, so I have bound weapons, so I can't upgrade those. But I could do the fucking armor.
Yeah,
it is tedium. Pure
yeah, that's
tedium.
gonna be super tedious.
Speaking of, after stream, you'll have to tell me how to do that so we can include it in the video.
Yeah, sure. I can send you a video of like a tutorial on how you do it.
All right.
It's pretty simple.
Anyways.
New Vegas manages to fix this by adding stopgap weapons such as a 9mm pistol and a 22mm pistol, or no, it's 22 caliber. Excuse me about that. That was bad. But as I was saying, there's not only stopgap weapons, but now you can modify and improve your weapons to allow for more life out of these things even after you're out of the areas where you will commonly find them.
Okay, so those 2 points aren't anywhere fucking close to each other.
Yeah, I don't
Like,
even
the issue with the enemies being too strong on point lookout is an issue of balancing their health and damage.
Yeah.
It's not that more weapons that have mods will fucking fix it. Oh man, that's so weird.
Resto enchanting loop to make it permanent. I don't think that was that the one you're talking about?
Yep.
Oh,
the
okay.
restoration potion loop.
Yeah, I'll have to figure that one out. I might show that on my stream and be like, just to get, because like I say, the game's not difficult, but I can get one shot by anything that has a bow. That is that makes every single fight so fucking tedious. Because if I see anybody draw a bow, I'm like, ah, fuck, and I'm like dancing around. Constantly.
Oh my god, the fucking bow shit.
And I mean full on from full health to dead in a single arrow, no matter where it hits.
Yeah, that's one of the main reasons I would always upgrade my armor was because of archers. I was just like, I got so sick of archers one-shotting me. I was just like, fuck this. Super armor time. I'm done. This is bullshit.
Yeah, that's what I was going to need to do.
Modding improvements, you can use the varmint rifle much later in the game than initially intended by making it be a sort of stealth assassination type weapon for low damage threshold enemies. Which brings us to the next thing that Fallout New Vegas does to improve the general combat. Armor now has damage thresholds. Certain enemies will just glance off shotgun attacks despite the fact that even with a perk that allows you to do more damage with shotguns, there's still a threshold. Certain guns just aren't going to hurt certain enemies and you're going to need to bring something bigger. That being said, certain end level enemies that do have a lot of high HP and a lot of damage don't have that much armor, so other things will hurt them that normally wouldn't hurt other enemies. And now, because that also applies to you, power armor means something beyond just a straight stat boost. And to
okay, so still none of this shows how Fallout 3 is good at all.
Yeah. And how this is an entire new system from the ground up that New Vegas added. This isn't something they took from 3. Like, what?
They're also not improving the power armor or anything, or the shooting from 3. They're really just moving it from Fallout 2 to New Vegas.
Yeah.
So
Cottonmouth with $10 says, fun fact about the Resident Evil basement music is that it was made by a guy who pretended to be deaf and used it to emotionally manipulate people into giving him jobs to make music.
Wow. I didn't know that. But yeah, he's not made any like serious points so far. The good thing is we're over halfway through the video, so at least there's that.
To top up other areas where dangerous enemies hang out instead of just having it like Fallout 3 where everything scales with level, so you can be wandering around Megaton's vicinity and suddenly an albino giant rad scorpion shows up. In Fallout New Vegas, you just know, okay, don't hang around certain mountain ranges unless you want to become Cazador Dinner. Another place where Fallout New Vegas really benefits from all the heavy lifting done by Fallout 3
oh my god.
So, okay,
fuck up.
You say they did the heavy lifting. No, they just got rid of the stupid fucking scaling. The scaling doesn't go fucking crazy banana hammocks insane in New Vegas.
Yeah, and how is it heavy lifting when you're literally removing something from... Oh my god. That's not fucking heavy lifting. That's fixing something that was broken.
Yeah, it's... And if it's gonna argue, it's like... Because they proved it was bad in fucking Fallout 3. It's like, why didn't they take that lesson from Oblivion? Why do they still use fucking level scaling if it's been proven bad?
Yeah. Well, it can't be overstated. I do like Oblivion, the fucking level scaling is fucked.
Yeah.
It is so bad in Oblivion.
It is crazy how bad it is in Skyrim as well. Like on Legend, when you go into a tomb and you're supposed to fight like one Draugr Deathlord, and all of a sudden 2 more pop up and they're both Draugr Deathlords. Now it's a fucking 3 fight.
Oh my god, I fucking
Oh,
hate that
it's
shit.
hor-
You go into these fucking tombs, and these fucking they'll just start Fushrodaing you to the floor constantly, and you just can't stand up because they will just infinitely shout you down. You
Yeah.
almost have to bring companions with you so that they will focus on them, so you don't get knocked down constantly.
What are you talking
it's-
about companions? Emil said it's a story about the lone hero.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
right.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
God, that
But
was such
anyways-
a dumb thing.
Yeah, this video is pain.
Oh, that's a good point.
Oh?
Christian Reyes says Bethesda is only lifting Fallout to its grave. Yep, I'd say Bethesda are the fucking pallbearers of the Fallout universe.
Yep.
Seems to be. No, that's not even fair. They're the fucking necromancer. They're puppeting this corpse around for fun.
Yeah.
World building in the Mojave Wasteland. While Fallout 3 certainly has some stuff going on in it, like occasionally Brotherhood outcasts just wandering around and a few random encounters, Fallout New Vegas feels a lot more like it's a living world where things are happening even when the player isn't around.
Okay, again, how
How is that building off of Fallout 3, and how does that mean Fallout 3 is good?
Oh my god.
Like, New Vegas actually feels like a lived-in world, which is something Fallout 3 couldn't do. Okay, how does that make Fallout 3 good?
Yeah. This video is an absolute. All he's doing is fucking proving how good New Vegas is compared to 3. That's all he's done. I don't even know why he made this video.
Well, he's
Yeah.
doing it to try and convince people that Fallout 3 is actually good. It allowed New Vegas to do this, that, these, and those, but he's not substantiating any of this. He's just saying, New Vegas did this. Or, sorry, Fallout 3 did this, and here's how New Vegas made it better. But a lot of the examples he's using...
A lot of the stuff he's using, you can literally just say, well, no, they didn't improve it from Fallout 3. They just took stuff from Fallout 2 and brought it back to the series.
Yeah.
It feels more like they just skipped 3 and said, hey, 2 was a lot better. Let's just do what we did in 2. Instead of, it doesn't feel like there's anything to do with 3, but he's trying to make it seem like, well, 3 is actually what carried New Vegas. No, they went
Not at all.
They went back to 2. They went back with what 2 was doing, with the ammo types and all this other shit.
Yeah.
While you could ignore in Fallout 3, eventually you're going to get corralled to Rivet City because you run out of things to do and you'll get back to the main story quest.
You know why you run out of things to do? Is because there's barely anything to do in Fallout 3. They have nothing in terms of side content, like, at all. It is crazy how little there is to do in Fallout 3.
Yeah, but did you hear just, what he said? You run out of content, so the game pushes you back to the main story.
Yeah.
So the main story is so unengaging, you have to fucking do a bunch of other bullshit. And once you run out of that, well, it looks like I have to do the main story now. I fucking run out of everything to do.
Oh
Yeah,
my
this is
god.
fucking crazy.
They fuck up the rest of the fucking world so that way you'll stay on the main story even though it's so bad. That's hilarious. Wow. What an indictment of the game, and yet you're still trying to sit here and defend it somehow. What the fuck, dude? What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm more side with that what Bernie says. A crazy idea? Fallout New Vegas would be made even if 3 didn't exist. I agree.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it would. It would.
Yeah.
It totally would.
People keep using that as an argument in some of my comment sections too, that, oh, well, Fallout 3 allowed New Vegas to exist, or New
No, it
Vegas
didn't.
wouldn't exist without Fallout 3. Yeah, that's not the case at all. We would have had Van Buren, which
Yeah,
New
we would have
Vegas
had
took
Van
many of its
Buren.
plot points from.
And they likely still would have made something similar to New Vegas, except without the references to Fallout 3, which would probably make the game even better.
Yep.
They wouldn't have had only 18 months to do the game.
Yep.
Yeah, so fuck off with that. Oh, well, it allowed it to. No, if anything, it hindered it. It's a miracle it existed.
Yes.
In Fallout New Vegas, to completely ignore the main plot when you finally get dug out of the Good Springs graveyard and just go see what happens on the strip. Hey, you might run into Benny, you might not. You don't actually have to follow They Went That Away if you don't want to. You could go try to make an Enclave reunion for all you care. We don't need to focus on the Hoover Dam. It also helps New Vegas' case that it's a living, breathing world, much more so than Fallout 3, and that the towns are much more fleshed out, and you're going to be remembering places like Novak and Prim a lot more than you're going to be remembering places like Megaton or Girder Shade, because towns in New Vegas are often a lot more than just a couple people, maybe a corrugated steel shack or two, and one quest. Most areas in Fallout New Vegas have several fully fleshed out quest lines for you to go explore, as opposed to maybe just the single one in Fallout 3. There are
Okay, so
Go ahead.
it's just that it's not saying anything of, I guess, real substance here that proves Fallout 3 is good. I know we've already said this numerous times, but
Yeah.
the entire premise is the only Fallout New Vegas is only good because Fallout 3 is good. And the examples he's providing, oh, well, Girder Shade is just a couple of shacks with a single quest. That doesn't say Fallout 3 is good, nor does that mean that, like, New Vegas isn't good for its towns because Girder Shade exists. Or Megaton, or, you know?
Spaghetti, has he actually said anything positive about Fallout 3? He said that Bethesda has done all the heavy lifting for Obsidian, so Obsidian didn't have to really work that hard to make New Vegas good.
Yeah, but with every point he's making here, he's just proving the exact opposite. Hey, here's how Fallout 3 didn't do this too well, but New Vegas fucking improved leaps and bounds.
Yeah,
And
all that work that they had to do to fix everything.
yeah, so how has Bethesda done the heavy lifting?
Yeah.
And then at the same time, he fucking says shit like it didn't add anything new or substantial at the same time as he's saying all this other shit. It's like, are you fucking kidding me, dude?
And by the way, what was the name in chat? It's gone, I think. Spaghetti. He did say at the very start of the video that Fallout 3 is an amazing game that still holds up today, which no, it fucking doesn't. No, it fucking doesn't.
He's literally sitting here and saying, like, the main story is shit. There's nothing to do in the world, so it pushes you back to the horrible main story. The towns are just one or two people in shitty steel fucking shacks that give you maybe one awful quest.
Yeah, it's a completely lifeless and dead world that doesn't feel like a real place. You don't feel like anything happens unless you're actually there. It just is completely lifeless, oozing mass. It's like, okay. So how does this mean that Fallout 3 is an amazing game that holds up today?
This whole
video is just a conundrum. It is just a complete mindfuck. It contradicts everything he says.
I'm just reading a couple comments in chat. This whole video is just one backhand at Bethesda disguised as praise. I don't even know if that's the case, though. I don't
think it's intentionally, but he is doing that.
Yeah, it seems like he's saying, hey, some of these things are genuinely good. Here's how New Vegas made them better. And, like, obviously, New Vegas is leaps and bounds ahead of Fallout 3. But it's not leaps and bounds ahead of Fallout 3 because Fallout 3 was such a great game.
Yeah.
Especially when he's sitting here saying that that's not the case. Fucking New Vegas, the towns feel lived in. The story actually matters. All this other shit. And then he references Fallout 3 and he's like, yeah, these towns are completely dead with maybe one or two people in them, with maybe one quest that you won't want to do anyway. And it's like, how are you going to sit here and say that fucking Fallout 3 is this amazing thing that still stands up today and Fallout New Vegas is just leeching off of it when you can't even defend it yourself?
Yeah.
It's so fucking baffling.
There are times, however, when this kind of feels like the world is just a bunch of disjointed incidents as opposed to one single threaded area. However, that's always remedied by just going back to the main quest line and realizing that, oh,
are you going to substantiate that claim there, sir?
Let's rewind it because it was pausing for me. It was doing the circly thing.
Okay, yeah, I'd like him to substantiate that claim he just made.
places like Megaton or Girder Shade, because towns in New Vegas are often a lot more than just a couple people, maybe a corrugated steel shack or two, and one quest. Most areas in Fallout New Vegas have several fully fleshed out quest lines for you to go explore, as opposed to maybe just the single one in Fallout 3. There are times, however, when this backfires and it kind of feels like the world is just a bunch of disjointed incidents as opposed to one single threaded area. However, that's always remedied by just going back to the main quest line and realizing that, oh yeah, this does all eventually fold into what happens at Hoover Dam.
So, would you like to substantiate that claim that it backfires and feels like a disjointed mess until you go back to the main story? Like what?
Yeah, I
Where?
don't.
Can you give even a single example of that? Even one single example?
Again, I'm totally fine. If you give an example and then we look into it and it's actually accurate, totally fine with that. Here's the problem, though. Are you going to? It's like all these other unsubstantiated claims you made. Are you going to?
Yeah.
What a joke. This video is a joke.
Oh, completely. Fuck.
Oh my god.
Keep up the bangers, Kretosis. Can't wait to see what you do this fall. Thank you. In October, the plan is to stream a bunch of horror games.
Ooh, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to do Soma, Dead Space, and Silent Hill 1. But Silent Hill 1 is a bit tentative because the PlayStation Mini fucking up. That's why I haven't streamed Legend of Dragoon recently, is because the audio is skipping with OBS.
El Descari... Oh, man. Oh, boy. El Descariado says, Witcher 3 couldn't have happened unless Bethesda made Elder Scrolls Adventure Redguard.
I can't comment on that because...
Well, it just gets back to that whole thing of what we've been dealing with.
Yeah. Yeah.
Seconded Retcon Raider dug deep into Van Buren, very deep, and needs more views.
Huh. Retcon Raider. We'll have to check that out at some point then.
Hey, I will admit this. I will say I do like his background music. It reminds me a lot of Don Somewhere's videos, so I'm getting a little bit of nostalgia. So, hey, you got one thing right.
Yeah, I will say this before I read this comment. Kretosis has plans. Overlord, are you guys going to do any videos on Telltale games?
Oh
my god.
Yes. I don't know when, but Telltale is absolutely on my fucking hit list. I've got a lot of issues with some of Telltale's games. The ones I've played. And I very much look forward to covering them one day. Use DuckStation for Silent Hill. It'll play well and look fantastic. I'll try to keep that in mind. I was using the PlayStation Mini. It's modified to have extra games on it, but I could probably use an emulator to do Silent Hill 1. I have a question. Are you interested in recommending Crysis series in one of your streams? I've never played any of the Crysis games.
I have. They were, at least I played the first one. I can't say that it inspired me enough to play the others, but it wasn't bad. It was obviously a tech demo first and foremost, but it wasn't bad at all. Like, that's my memory of it. I'd have to go back and play it again. I do remember the VTOL section, though. Fuck that section.
Telltale, remember that. Oh, never mind. Yes.
Yeah, I will be right back a second. I gotta go to the bathroom.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, Telltale might have closed down, but I have no problem with kicking a company when it's down. Fuck their shitty games.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
it's been
fuck off.
It's been a long time since I've played any of their games, and admittedly, from what I can remember, I do like Season 1 of Walking Dead. It's got issues, especially with the choices, but I remember very much liking the characters of Lee and Clementine and Kenny. I think I think some of the character work is very good in season 1 at least.
Yeah, I think most people like season 1 of Walking Dead. It's what they do afterwards that makes everyone hate it.
Oh yeah, season 2 just goes to absolute shit, and from what I've heard of season 3, it only gets worse. Yeah, and Wolf Among Us too. I played that. Again, I kind of like some of the characters, but I've got a lot of issues with its story and choices, especially choices.
Yeah, and then there's what they did to fucking Borderlands.
I actually never played that one. I might have
It's
to.
awful.
I might have to acquire it to cover Telltale at some point.
All right, I am back.
Welcome back.
My cousin got that game, and I watched him play it, and I was just like, we were both like, what the fuck is this shit?
Wow.
It was bad.
Are you guys
James? Oh, that's what I was gonna. I think
Yeah.
that's what I was gonna read. Yeah.
Are you guys going to do videos on Elden Ring when it comes out, or Dark Souls? I still need to play Dark Souls.
I will be doing Elden Ring.
I will
for
be.
Sure.
I am heavily looking forward to it. It's in fact, Elden Ring is the only game I'm looking forward to right now.
And knowing these two, I'm going to be forced to play Dark Souls at some point, especially since I've now picked it up. So
yeah.
we'll probably be streaming it at some point. I'll be streaming it with these two in a call with me at some point.
Yeah.
So Dark Souls stuff is coming eventually. I just can't promise when.
I gotta agree. I was very much one of those people that didn't like Borderlands. I just never got into it. And then Borderlands 2 went even more insane with its humor, and that humor was just not for me.
I didn't like Borderlands 1. I liked Borderlands 2. I thought it was all right. Everything after that I hated, though. I hated Borderlands 1. I hated it so much. Even as a kid, I hated it because it already felt very empty and boring, and then you got to the end, and that fucking ending pissed me off so much, I literally cracked my disc.
Oh.
I literally took it out of my 360. I was like...
I did that with...
Like 14 or 15 at the time. I was just so angry. I just took it out of my Xbox 360 and I just crushed the disc in my hand.
Wow.
I did that with one of the Gears of War games. I can't remember which one I did that with.
Yeah.
For me with Borderlands, I was interested in the game. I liked the art style. I ended up picking up and enjoying it. I played co-op with friends who are way leveled above me. Well, once they exited the game and I was all alone again, all the enemies were still powerful, so I couldn't do shit. I literally had so much trouble killing enemies, I just dropped the game there. I eventually picked up Borderlands 2, and I even got the DLC pack to play the Psycho character. And I was playing for a bit, and then my character just randomly started ranting about nipple salad, and it's kind of like, okay, so, next game.
Yeah.
Not playing this one anymore.
No, I know it wasn't Gears of War 4. This was way back in the day. So
and
I don't remember which Gears it was, though.
I know that's like a really silly thing to drop the game over, but it was just proof to me that it was the worst kind of lol random humor, so, yeah.
Actually, that does remind me. If we play Fallout, if we play Dark Souls 3, like once you get through the other two games,
Yeah.
because we talked about maybe us joining your world for fun, but I have realized that if we do that, that will permanently make your game more difficult, especially with invaders. You will be able to be invaded by multiple invaders if we join.
All right. Well, we can figure all that out when we eventually get there. It'll probably be quite a while before I get to Dark Souls 3.
I would much rather do it where we don't jump into his world unless he asks us for it.
Yeah, that's probably.
So that's what I would prefer to do.
Yeah, we should at least.
I'll level
we should
up beside him.
Yeah, we should definitely at least wait till he's like a higher level.
One last comment before we continue. Do you think Shadow of the Colossus is a masterpiece? I've never played those games, unfortunately, but I did hear that it's really good. I hear a lot of people fucking love that game.
I love Shadow of the Colossus. It's a good game.
I can't speak on it because it was on the consoles I didn't have, so.
May Crawford stare intensifies. Yes, let's get past this pitch.
Basically have everybody side with different people if you really wanted to. It's great. Everything I just mentioned Vegas improves upon from Fallout 3 wouldn't have happened if Fallout 3 did all that experimental gameplay compared to the previous games and laid all the groundwork for New Vegas to be great.
No,
Bethesda
no.
took in a thoroughly
Shut the fuck up. No.
They took
New
it from
Vegas.
Fallout 2. They ignored Fallout 3 as much as they possibly could.
Yes, this argument that fucking it exists and it did this stuff well because of Fallout 3 is
I've got the perfect
bullshit.
example. He went on about the reputation system a few minutes ago in his video, fucking few hours ago for us. He said the reputation system was an improvement over Fallout 3. The reputation system fucking comes from Fallout 1 and 2. This was not an improvement over Fallout 3. It was bringing something back that Fallout 3 cut out.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what most of it is. Oh my god.
Fucking hell.
This is oh my, I hate this guy. I actually hate this guy. He is so far up his own ass and just it's just riding on the coattails. No, it's not. It's literally going back to what they made, what they did, and they're bringing it back and skipping the actual dog turd that is 3. They're not taking things from 3 and improving on it. They're bringing things back from the other games.
Yeah.
Because
shut up.
The reason he keeps showing Brotherhood of Steel is he's making the claim that Brotherhood of Steel killed the franchise.
No, it didn't.
A lot of people like to say that.
It wasn't good, but it didn't kill the fucking franchise.
Yeah, most people just skipped it. Most people just looked at it as like the black sheep and said, wasn't a very good one, but we'll get better ones in the future. And then we got fucking Bethesda.
Yeah. And again, we got Bethesda because they bullied Interplay into it, and they made sure that Troika Games couldn't get the license for it.
Yep.
So
again, when they say like, oh, well, it wouldn't exist without Fallout 3. No, we would have gotten something better. Troika would have made something.
Yeah.
Shut up.
And again, Troika, as unfortunate as it is that their games didn't sell, they are now cult classics.
Yeah.
Like Arcanum, fucking Temple of Elemental Evil, and Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines are cult classics.
Yes. Vampire the Masquerade, that is a good game. So for them to be like, no, we just wouldn't have gotten anything else. Nope, wouldn't have happened. No, shut the fuck up. We would have gotten something good. Shut up. Stop saying that Fallout 3 allowed New Vegas to exist. It didn't. We would have gotten something better, in fact.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's originally from a genre that was dying out, and most recently a complete disaster.
Genre that was dying out, motherfucker.
Dying out. Fucking shit.
What?
Again,
the genre was not dying out.
I gotta agree with the chat.
About?
I gotta agree with the chat. I don't think this guy knows anything about Fallout 1 and 2 at all.
No.
Doesn't
I don't think he knows
seem like
anything about anything. I don't think he knows anything about RPGs even. Holy shit.
Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 scares the shit out of me after what they did to Chris Avalon.
Ooh. Well, didn't that get canceled?
As far as I know, no. It's just indefinitely not coming out.
Oh.
Like, let me check my thing. I've got it here. Hold on.
Either way, yeah, there's a lot of shady stuff going on, and a lot of bad signs, too, so...
Yeah.
But...
a lot of fucking bad signs.
The isometric RPG genre didn't die out. Fucking Pillars of Eternity exists, and isn't the Divinity Original Sin games isometric as well?
Yes. And Divine Divinity, it was Divine Divinity, Beyond Divinity, Divinity 2, Ego Draconis. Divinity 2, Ego Draconis at least was a third-person RPG, but whatever.
So in other words, the genre didn't die out.
No, the genre didn't die out at all.
Huh.
At that point in time, worked it and turned it into a smash hit again, renewing interest in the franchise.
Again, that's not inherently a good thing.
And
being successful
really
doesn't mean it's good.
He was working on David. He was working on both. He was working on Dying Light 2 and Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. But after the accusations came out, which now Chris Avalon has stated are completely fucking false, and now he's taking those pieces of shit to court.
Good.
Yeah,
Glad to see.
I hope I'm glad he stood up for himself.
Yeah.
He thought this shit would go away, but no, they kept trying to ruin his life because welcome to cancel culture.
Yeah.
So he's like, all right, no, I'm just taking him to court.
$5 from Peaky the Cat. Thank you. I really hate the RPGs were a dying genre before Bethesda argument. And I actually really dislike our isometric RPGs. Yeah, it's stupid that so many people think the genre was dying. Like,
No, it was not.
I gotta agree with HoboCop. Divinity Original 2 is one of the best RPGs of this era. I agree. It is absolutely fan-fucking-tastic.
at
But
Cretosis.
I've always been a Larian fanboy, so I'm incredibly biased in favor of Larian because they're a company I really believe in.
At Cretosis. Dead genres. Shooters and gotcha games.
Yeah.
Yep.
I agree over Siri USA. It should be innocent until proven guilty.
Oh yeah,
It should
absolutely.
be. And that's why it was so disgusting that Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines and Dying Light 2 immediately threw him under the bus. Dying Light 2 said, we're rewriting the entire story because we don't want anything to do with this horrible, disgusting, awful man.
That's
And
fucking
Vampire the
retarded.
Masquerade Bloodline says, oh, he didn't actually do that much for him, so we'll just rip out all the stuff he did do.
That is such stupid bullshit.
That's why I am not looking forward to Bloodlines 2 if it isn't canceled. And it just says it's to be considered for release.
To be considered for release.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound too good.
It doesn't sound like it's going so good for them.
No. Just so you know, Pagan, you've got sound coming through your mic.
Yeah, sorry.
No, it happens.
I
I'm just
gonna say. Oh, I forgot. I was gonna say something about the game. About
I don't think
the
boomer
video.
shooters are a dying breed either. Like we just had fucking Realms Deep 2021, which might as well be Boomer Shooter Con. And we got 30 new boomer shooters coming out.
Is Outer Worlds any good, and are you planning to make a video on it later? I've only played an hour and a half to 2 hours of Outer Worlds. I really need to get back to it. I'll probably start over, if I'm going to be honest.
I think Outer Worlds is a lot better than people give it credit for.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of mixed things.
I think it gets lambasted way too hard, but there is problems with it, and I would love to talk about all those problems.
Well, that would be interesting for us to cover at some point too.
Yeah,
I've heard a lot of mixed things. I've heard people say that, it's absolute garbage, it's fucking terrible, blah 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 blah. I've heard people say that no, it's actually really great, it's amazing, it's super fun. I've heard people that are just middle of the road, kind of what you said, Setch. It's good, but it has issues.
Yeah, I will definitely say it's good, but it has issues. I would say, it's if I would say New Vegas is a 7 out of 10, I would say it's probably a 6 out of 10.
All right.
It's still a good game, but there are some issues, and there's some story issues that they should have laid more heavily into.
All right.
I'm trying to remember the quote. There's one quote from that game that I always think about, but I can't remember the full quote. Something about this chick, she's super pissed off, and she's like, fuck, what did she say? Something like that I want it laminated. It's really funny to me. There's just something about the way she says it that's really funny. I want it laminated.
Anyways.
Yeah, I can't remember. Can you go back just slightly? I was gonna say something about this, but
he said something there that.
Yeah,
I've already forgotten what he said.
Yeah.
At that point in time, completely reworked it and turned it into a smash hit again, renewing interest in the franchise. Bethesda took what they had just made.
That's what I was gonna say. Okay, so he's saying it was a smash hit. Yeah, amongst young children who didn't even know about the series to begin with.
Yeah.
But once they got older and realized what the older games were, even they started to realize that the game wasn't good. So it really wasn't that much of a smash hit. It was just, hey, it just introduced younger audiences to the world.
Yeah.
But that's all it did. It didn't actually improve anything. It didn't actually do anything good. It just made people aware of the older games.
Yeah, and as we've said numerous times, and we'll continue saying through future videos and streams, bringing a wider audience to something isn't inherently a good thing. And to just just to build on Pagan's point there, both of us were introduced to Fallout 3. Sorry, to the Fallout series with Fallout 3. And both of us have eventually come to the conclusion that, hey, yeah, Fallout 3 is actually pretty fucking garbage, and the originals are really good, and New Vegas is pretty good.
Yeah. And then me coming from playing Fallout 1 and 2, going into Fallout 3, I was fucking pissed.
Yeah, I bet.
Was very not happy with Fallout 3.
Well, I don't remember if I've told you this story before, but I'm pretty sure I mentioned it on the channel at some point. When I first got Fallout 3, I was on Xbox Live talking to a friend, and he said, you know, a lot of longtime fans of the series really aren't happy with Fallout 3. And this was my very first time playing it, so I was really taken in by the world and everything. I was like, oh, those people are stupid. This game is great. Keep in mind, I was also in high school at the time, too. And it was like, having seen the rest of the series and learned everything about it, I really see where the longtime fans were coming from, having looked back at it.
Yeah. And it's the depressing thing of, he even admits in this video that he came in with Fallout 3.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's a safe bet. I feel like he has no idea about Fallout 1 and 2 at all.
Yeah.
Also, somebody said, will Starfield be any good? It has the potential to be good. There's nothing that says it won't be. There's nothing that says that it's guaranteed to be terrible. However, I would never bet that it would be good at all, given the current track record.
Here's my general take on it. If something hasn't been released yet, it has the potential to be a 10 out of 10, and it has the potential to be a 0 out of 10.
Yeah.
All we have to judge on is the current track record, and Bethesda's current track record is not fucking good.
Yeah.
I hope...
Which is why I would not place any bets on it being good.
Yes, I hope it's good. I would be fucking over the moon happy if it was actually a really great fucking game. I don't think it's going to be. I hope it is. I don't think it will be. $5 super chat from GG Evan 317. Thank you. Outer Worlds is like Old World Blues, but with more on the nose humor. I'd give it a 7 out of 10. All right. Like I said, oh, go ahead.
Hobocop. I initially hated the Fallout series and thought it was overrated because I was only exposed to Fallout 3. I'm glad I gave it a second chance when I played New Vegas. Yep, there you go.
Yeah, that's fair take.
Subliminal worked it into an entirely different kind of RPG from Elder Scrolls.
I did not realize I was muted. Shit.
Worked.
Oh.
All right.
I did not realize I was muted. I was talking.
Fuck. Sorry.
Yeah. Yet. So one of the things I was trying to say was one of the reasons why we want Starfield to be good is because if they actually make a good game and it gets a lot of attention and makes them a lot of money, they'll look at that and say, oh, hey, maybe we should do this with our other properties too and actually put effort and work into them.
Yes.
Yeah. Especially because they said they don't like to do effort and anything like that. Like they don't want to do fucking design documents or anything anymore because that's too much effort.
Yeah.
When things are just going to change anyways. Like but you can keep a consistent fucking through line if you do a design document.
Kritosis, Dragon Quest 8 is a 10 out of 10. I have never played that game, but I'm always extremely hesitant of 10 out of 10s because you're saying something is perfection. There are no issues. There are no flaws whatsoever. I'm highly skeptical that anything can reach... Like, I'm not going to say 10 out of 10 is impossible. It's just... How do I say this?
Well, here's another comment if you want to think on that for a bit. Oh, we'll do the super chat while you're thinking. All right. Jar18 with Norwegian Kroner 20 says, I hope Obsidian improve Outer Worlds 2 to be more than meh. I think Outer Worlds 1 was more than meh, but again, I'm not saying it was a 9 or a 10 or anything like that. I'm saying I think it's a 6 out of 10. James Paguip says, I hate when Bethesda turned Elder Scrolls into an MMO. Bethesda didn't do shit. That was ZeniMax. And ZeniMax, the Elder Scrolls MMO is fan-fucking-tastic. It fixes so many problems with the Elder Scrolls, especially its god-awful lore.
Anyways, back to the point about the 10 out of 10. I'm just very skeptical of, I guess, people's rating systems, because a lot of people, and this isn't to say your rating is, like, wrong or anything. I'm not criticizing your rating of the game. It's more the fact that a lot of people tend to hand out 10s out of 10s for something they're really passionate about or that they really like.
10 out of 10 should be perfection. The fact that people can argue that 10 out of 10 doesn't mean it's perfect or that there aren't flaws, that is the problem.
Yeah. 10 out of 10 isn't perfection, laughing my ass off. Yeah, I disagree with that 100%. Okay. Yeah. It's literally a score system. A 10 is perfection. I don't know how else to...
No, ESO lore is so much better. If you think the lore got fucked up in ESO, oh boy, you have not paid attention to how fucked the lore is in the entire Elder Scrolls universe already. And by design, by Emil's own fucking words, they intentionally fuck it up on purpose.
Yeah. Anyways.
Entirely different RPG from Elder Scrolls. And by nod, it worked. Fallout 3 up for New Vegas to succeed, and without the rise of Fallout 3 in popularity, New Vegas probably wouldn't have existed in the first place. Yes, Obsidian hit
we already said that it absolutely would have existed.
Yes, we've already debunked this. We've already talked about this. You're completely wrong.
Yeah, it would have existed already. Van Buren was almost fucking done.
And not to mention, even if Fallout 3 turned out to be a flop, that doesn't mean Obsidian wouldn't have gotten their chance either, you know?
Yeah.
New Vegas, as we know it now, the fact that Obsidian got to make it, doesn't seem like it was dependent on Fallout 3 being a success, because ultimately it has very little cost to Bethesda to make. It was all on Obsidian to make the game.
Yep.
Yeah. In fact, I feel like if it had failed, they likely would have went like, "Oh, hey, Obsidian, can you make a game for us? Because we clearly aren't being able. We're not making anything that people want." So
Probably.
I would not be surprised if they would be like, "Hey, make this series for us."
Yeah.
And we'll give you a cut.
Yeah.
Kind of like what they do with Doom.
Hey, Obsidian, you guys, some of your developers there that are in charge are responsible for Fallout 1 and 2, which were immensely successful in their own time. Maybe you guys should make the next Fallout because ours fucking failed. That is very likely to have been the case if Fallout 3 failed.
Yeah, so for him to say like, "Oh, well, because it was successful, that's the only reason." No, bullshit. If anything, if it had failed, it probably would have been better for us.
Yeah. Van Buren doesn't exist. There is no war in Ba Sing Se. Wow, that's a fucking reference. Shame about that show, too. Oh, boy. You want another hot take? After the Last Airbender's ending was fucking shit. I 100% despise that Deus Ex Machina ending. That was...
Yeah,
oh boy.
I don't know.
The show was so good.
Yeah.
It had so much depth to it, and then that fucking ending. It's like...
I was very mixed on the ending.
I hated it because it literally came... They like, oh, he knocked the wound. Oh, he's got his powers back. It's like, what?
Yeah.
At the last second.
It was very.
And also, talk about a last second thing. Learning that fucking the lion turtle just randomly shows up and is like, oh, here's your third option that no one ever told you about because nobody ever knew it existed. It's like, what? That's not fair. No, make it where he actually has to kill him. Make him have to live with it because it would be so fucking perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, the moral dilemma is perfect. Yeah, but again, like I said, the show was so good, but it had stumbles. There were problems there, but man, oh man, that ending, yikes.
I've never seen it myself.
It's a great show. I say even despite the ending, it is well worth watching.
Yeah, the beginning and the very end are very it's kind of tough to get through, but the rest of it is amazing.
All right,
Yeah.
I'll take your advice and watch M. Night Shyamalan's Avatar.
Yeah, fuck no. No.
No.
Dude, you know what annoyed me so much about that movie is they couldn't even keep consistent in their own fucking rules. We need to put out all the candles and torches because that's how the firebender's going to do it. And then the very next scene when the firebenders show up after hours that the Water Nation had, there are candles and torches and shit lit everywhere because they realized, oh yeah, the firebenders wouldn't be able to fight without it. They just forgot to do the thing that they said they were going to do.
Are you telling me they just kind of forgot about the Iron Fleet?
Yes.
$2 from Peaky the Cat. There's meant to be a 4th season of Avatar: The Last Airbender, though.
I've heard that. I don't know what would have been in it. And also, fuck Korra.
Yeah.
I am very much not a Korra fan. She is
fuck Korra.
Mary Sue beyond belief. She is a horrible person who destroys people and is like, what? I didn't do nothing wrong. When she makes people fucking cry because she hurts them so badly.
Yeah,
And she's like, I'm totally in the right. Because I'm the Avatar. It's like, wow, you are a fucking wanker.
Yeah, I fucking hate
Sounds like
her.
a cunt.
Yeah, she is. She is an absolute cunt.
Have you guys watched Samurai Jack? No, I've never seen it.
Bits and pieces. I loved what I had, but it's timing. I could never get timing to watch it.
Yeah, that was probably my favorite
No.
show in terms of like when I was a child. That was probably my favorite my favorite part of my childhood was Samurai Jack. I love Samurai Jack. I watched it all the time.
Nuva DT says, "I'm the Avatar. You gotta deal with it."
Oh my god!
Yeah.
That's
when you knew. That's when you knew the show was like, "Oh no, this is gonna be bad."
Yeah, that's when you knew that, and when they introduced the sports shit, when they were like, "Oh, this show is also going to be about sports," and I was like, "Oh,
I was fine with that because it was supposed to be an evolution on bending style, and they found a way to turn it into like entertainment." I was like, "Okay, that can work." But then they just made it to where now nobody ever does bending styles like normal ever again. They lost everything from the past.
Yeah,
everything. Like, what the fuck?
It's so dumb. And then, of course, there's the fucking god-awful love triangle and all that other needless bullshit. And just
I'm not going to actually get with you because you're poor, and I'm going to get with this rich girl instead.
I just want to interrupt the conversation quickly before we get back to the video. Courage the Cowardly Dog is the best cartoon ever. I don't know if it's the best, but it's really fucking good. Yeah, anyways.
Burn the slab or suffer my curse. Go away. We don't want any.
What's your price?
No solicitor.
But as time would tell, they were having trouble working on their own IPs and really could use a boost. And that's exactly what they got with Fallout 3, and then getting the offer from Bethesda to go work on their old game series again. By using all the core elements of Fallout 3, and instead of trying to do their own thing or rehash old ideas, which may or may not have been the best choice, the Fallout franchise got a new lease on life. Pine over Van Buren all you want, but there's something to be said about how by the time it would have came out, say maybe 2005 or 2006, given that in 2003 it was still in the tech demo stage, it would have been
No, it wasn't still in the tech demo phase. Again, it was nearly done.
I was waiting for him to finish off that point before pausing, but he said a lot there. I want to wind that back a bit because
let's get this $5 super chat before we do that.
Yeah.
From $5 super chat from Gizmo Hunter, I consider Fallout 3 to be like Devil May Cry reboot or Devil May Cry 2. Bad games that lead to something better down the line. I don't. No. I consider Fallout 3 to be a mistake, and we would have had a better game had Bethesda butted the fuck out.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly. This guy needs to do more research. He is blatantly saying incorrect things. Everything he is saying is just wrong.
The genre was dead, and it was like, what are you fucking talking about?
Game series again. By using all the core elements of Fallout 3, and instead of trying to do their own thing or...
Okay, but here's the thing. They did do their own thing. They didn't use all the core elements of Fallout 3. They reworked all of those fucking aspects and added in new ones because there was such fucking garbage in Fallout 3.
Yeah.
It cannot be overstated that gunplay was such fucking garbage in Fallout 3 that they had to do a lot of tweaks to get it working and good for New Vegas.
Yep.
And they had to add basic fucking features like iron sight aiming. I shouldn't have to praise a game for adding iron sight aiming, but that's where we are because Fallout 3 was such garbage.
Yes.
Rehash old ideas would have been the best choice. The Fallout franchise got a new lease on life. Pine over Van Buren, but there's something to be said about how by the time it would have came out, say maybe 2005 or 2006, given that in 2003 it was still in the tech demo stage, it would have been extremely dated compared to other RPGs in the time. And
I don't know about that.
I don't know where you're getting that from.
Yeah, I don't know where he's getting that from. You want to provide some evidence on that? Because I've seen nothing that says that it would have been dated by then.
Yeah.
Especially because, again, it was nearly complete. I ain't gonna say like it was 99% done or anything like that, but they were near the end.
What I've heard,
it's weird that he's calling that it's a tech demo.
What I've heard is that they were 80 to 85% done. So pretty much there's very little left to do.
Yeah.
Like still a significant
I don't really
chunk,
get why
but
it matters anyway, because it's like, okay, so what if it took 2 more years to come out? So what? Big deal.
And again, none of that means the game is necessarily going to fail or be a flop or anything.
Yeah.
It could have come out and been a massive success, but we'll never know that because we can't see that timeline. We can't look into the alternate universe where Troika got the rights, the ownership of the intellectual property instead.
Yeah.
All we can look at is the fact that Bethesda got it and look what they did with it.
Yeah.
So
Arcanum was in 2001, and then Temple of Elemental Evil was 2003. Somebody had asked, wasn't Arcanum was 2002? No, it was 2001.
$5 from Zorarark. I hope I said that right. 720. Thank you. Half-Life did not have iron sight aiming unless you bound a key for it. I would have preferred that in Fallout 3. Yeah. I suppose. I think, hey, there's a point, actually, is the gunplay in Half-Life 1 was good enough without iron sight aiming, and Fallout 3 couldn't even do that.
Yeah.
That says a lot, too.
And then, I mean, you had the fucking Call of Duty series that came out in 2003 that had iron sights and everything. So, I just fucking know.
Oh, he meant Half-Life 2.
He meant Half-Life 2. Okay, yeah. Well, yeah, even still there, yeah.
The gunplay in Half-Life 2 is really good.
Well, no, I'd say it's good, but I wouldn't say really good. There are problems with it for sure. Absolutely.
It's not perfect, but it doesn't have the level of issues that Fallout 3 does.
Yeah, that's for sure. Like, your bullets don't randomly shoot at 90-degree angles down to the floor.
Yeah. I would have definitely preferred to have had Half-Life 2 shooting mechanics and in Fallout 3's mechanics. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
it'd be and Mass Effect. Van Buren would have likely been
okay. There's a big skip there, so I'm just gonna wind it back just a bit.
Yeah, and he was saying. Okay, go ahead. Let's do it.
Extremely dated compared to other RPGs in the time, and it'd be competing with the likes of Oblivion and Mass Effect. Van Buren would have likely been critically panned because it just stuck to the old ways, and
you cannot
what?
say that.
Don't
you do not know that.
Yeah, you don't know that. Plus, why
God.
Why would these other games existing automatically cause this game to be panned? That makes no sense.
Yeah.
Dude, this guy needs to do some more research. This is painful. This is painful.
So, what I want to point out is when we've speculated what might have happened if Van Buren existed, we're still saying it could have been this, it could have been that. We're not saying there's a good chance that Van Buren would have changed the gaming industry for the better. That's not what we think.
Damn it, I did the dumb thing. I didn't have live chat on. Oh,
rip.
fucking, yeah.
But what we're saying is...
When I wanted to talk to
what we're saying is it could have been successful. It could have. We don't know what would have happened, and it's really not a good idea to say, well, it probably would have failed, because you don't know that. You can't know that.
Yeah.
Unless you've got some way of looking into an alternate reality that no one else fucking knows about.
That'd be nice.
It would be really nice. I'd like to see a version of Fallout 4 that isn't fucking garbage.
I'd like to see a version of Fallout 3 that's great. Or like a version of Bethesda where Emil doesn't get fucking hired.
Yeah.
Still tried to play that kind of petered out in the late 90s. It's similar to how, while yeah, it would be really cool to think about what would have happened with XCOM Genesis, it is basically just trying to apply a 3D format to something that worked in 2D isometric and not really adding
Isometric?
Isometric?
I've noticed a few issues like that. Megatin, or something else he said earlier, which...
Yeah, he said Megatin, yeah.
There's also something else that he said earlier that I was going to comment on, but I didn't, just because it's that small, but... just a little weird.
Bethesda also did a pretty bro move at the time and decided that even though they were going to take over this franchise, they put it on the East Coast, far away from anything that had happened in previous Fallout.
That's not a bro move. If you actually look into the making of Fallout 3, they entirely intended it to be on the West Coast until Emil kept badgering the shit out of Todd Howard, saying, we should just do it in our backyard. We should do it in our backyard. Who could blow up DC better than we can? We should do it in our backyard.
Yeah, it was...
It also went against the lore and put a bunch of things that didn't belong on the East Coast there, instead of saying, hey, if we're going to move to the East Coast, let's do our own thing and actually make it make sense.
Yeah.
No, they didn't do that. They just took everything that was on the West Coast and moved it to the East Coast for no fucking reason.
And again, I don't think people understand. This is the apocalypse. This is after transportation would be easy, and we are thousands and thousands of miles away. I don't think people understand how fucking big the U.S. is. It's that whole thing where Europeans are like, oh, the U.S. ain't that big. It's just... a lot of tourists that come to the U.S. have this problem where, like, well, I'm going to fly into New York, and then I'm going to drive down to Florida, and then we're going to drive over to Texas. Like, how long are you going to be in the United States?
Oh, yeah, because...
a week, it's like, oh, good fucking luck, son. You will never be out of the car.
Yeah, I've heard before that's particularly an issue with Europeans, because their countries are so small, they could, like, drive from Germany to fucking Sweden in, like, a day. Maybe not that far, but...
Not that, but yeah, it's basically the same thing.
You can pass, like, 3 or 4 countries in a day.
The entirety of Europe fits comfortably in the U.S. It is massive. And that's the thing is, like, this is one of those things, like, God, do you understand, like, how long it would take for the Brotherhood of Steel to walk their happy ass from the West Coast to the East Coast in the apocalypse?
Yeah.
There's no infrastructure left. There's no buses or planes or anything like that. You're walking on foot.
You have to consider the amount of resources needed to keep that many people alive over that much distance.
Yeah. We're talking the number of trucks to carry the food supplies. And munitions for their weaponry, because they're going to have to fight their way all the way there.
Oh, yeah, there's... Who knows what groups they're going to run into on the way. There could be
not even
raiders
groups,
and tribals.
Wildlife.
I was going to say wildlife. Any possible mutated creatures, wandering robots, fucking anything. There's so much that they could run into between fucking California and DC. It's insane.
Yeah, it is crazy.
Actually, that ends up being a big plot point in fucking A Song of Ice and Fire when Stannis is marching to Winterfell, because they don't have the supply lines to keep the army properly fed in this, like, dire fucking snowstorm. It gets so fucked. People start eating each other because that's how desperate things are for Stannis' army.
Yeah, it is.
Like
it is crazy.
It can't be understated how important supply lines are.
Yeah. It's gonna be fucking a mess. And yeah, there's the other thing we get into it when we start going into even like if we get super nitty gritty like into this, the different viruses that would exist on the east and west coast now. Because again, there's nothing to carry stuff over super easy, so they're going into whole new like strains of sickness and disease when they go over to the east coast.
Yeah. Not to mention they cleansed the pit. Yes. That's another big thing is the Brotherhood fucking purged the pit. I forget what the exact word is they used, but they basically cleared out Pittsburgh, and they lost one single guy, and he didn't even die. He got trapped under rubble and came out after they left.
Yeah.
And he's the one who runs the pit, the slave organization there now. But it's very bad writing. Terrible.
Yeah, so what somebody pointed out, where was it?
The NCR...
all right. Yeah, right there it is. The NCR has the production capacity of a small nation, and they can't even supply their forces the next state over.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, too. A lot of people who disagree with the whole point about Lanius in my videos, they like to try and argue the same point Miniature Nerd basically made, which is, Lanius gives up just because California is a bit big. Well, it's actually explained in-game. It's amazing how many people miss this. It makes a lot of sense for Lanius to be like, yes, the supply lines are a big fucking deal. We cannot win this war.
We could take the dam easy peasy. That's not a fucking problem. It's going onwards from...
Yeah.
Like, we would just take the rotting carcass of everything that the NCR would leave behind, and there's just nothing to build it upon.
Yeah. Anyways.
Our own story, kind of sort of from scratch, but still featuring major pillars of the Fallout canon, and then inviting Obsidian Entertainment to pick up where they left off on the west coast of the Fallout universe, and effectively allowing Fallout New Vegas to be a kind of sort of Fallout 3 for the west coast wasteland content.
No, that is being way too charitable to what Bethesda did.
Yeah, that...
Like, this is, like, really, like, hey, you know, we pissed in this glass for you. If you drink it, you'll at least survive here in the desert. It's like, wow, thanks.
Yeah, especially considering they put them in this situation to begin with. They were going to make Fallout games to say that Bethesda taking the franchise away from them.
Well, look at the way look at the way he's acting about it too. It's like, hey, come on, buddy, why don't you make your own Fallout game? That's not the relationship these companies had.
Yeah, no, it was very much not friendly.
No. $2 from Peaky the Cat. Thank you. They said Kellogg walked from California to Massachusetts alone too. Did he do that entirely alone?
That'd be fucking crazy.
I don't remember them well, it probably is because he lost his wife and kid, and he was kind of lone wolf at that point, so yeah, I guess he might have. I actually never considered that aspect of Kellogg before because Fallout 4's got enough issues fucking without that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
They also have people coming from other countries and fucking...
Oh, Fallout 3,
4.
yeah.
Yeah.
Moriarty with his virus.
Fallout 3 and Fallout 4. Fallout 4 has people coming from Russia.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's something I've never really brought up before, but it's really fucking weird. Moriarty has an Irish accent. Tenpenny is kind of like almost sort of a British accent. I think he even has a line saying he came to America.
Yeah,
I'm going to have to double check that. And then in Fallout 4, you've got the Russian guys.
Yeah, you've got the Russians. There is, I think, oh fuck, what's her name? What's the druggy bitch's name? I can never remember her name.
Oh, fuck, Kate.
Kate, yeah, I think she's also from Ireland.
Yeah, I believe so. I'm just looking up Tenpenny's dialogue now. Oh god, it's gonna be hard to find.
Yeah, here I can help you out.
Sorry, everyone. I'm pretty sure I just remember a line of Tenpenny saying he came to the area. So
It says here that he is a British refugee who came to the capital wasteland seeking his fortune.
what the fuck?
Yeah.
How?
That is fucking weird.
So let's just assume that there's no such thing as mutated sea monsters. Just crossing the ocean alone seems insanely fucking perilous. Insane.
Yeah.
And where are they getting the ships to do so too? Like that. Anyways, let's get back to this shit.
Yep.
Where were we? There we are.
Hang on a second. Let's backtrack a little bit, just in case it decides to do a skip thing.
Yeah.
Allowing Fallout New Vegas to be a kind of sort of Fallout 3 for the West Coast Wasteland continuity. They didn't have to do that. They could have just tried to make their own continuity on the West Coast for the actual Fallout 3 and written over anything that Black Isle or now Obsidian would have had planned.
And they tried. Again, originally Fallout 3 was going to be on the West Coast. It was only because Emil kept pestering and harassing Todd to put it on the East Coast and in DC that it happened.
And not to mention, they're still clearly writing over the stuff Interplay and Interplay and Black Isle already wrote by, just the fucking retcons they do. $2 from Zorark720. Thank you. Fallout 4 shows sea monsters. Yeah, I was mostly saying, let's just assume that isn't even a problem. It's still insane that someone could travel from England to America in Fallout. It seems like an extremely perilous journey. Extremely.
Yeah, it also seems very pointless. I don't get why you would want to go to a completely different country when you could just move to a different place in your own country, which would be likely way better off for you and way easier.
Well, just think, the war was centered on America and China, so those two countries are probably going to be the worst off in terms of
exactly
how damaged they are. Now, obviously, the entire world got fucked, but these two countries were the main players there. I just don't see how anywhere else could be worse off than they are.
Yeah, exactly.
Except maybe Australia.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to elaborate on that.
Yeah, let's that's a big old yikes there. Oh, you want to know something funny though about Australia? So, a certain someone, I won't say exactly who it is, because I don't know. Again, the point isn't about their life in general, but they went back to work because the stuff they do on YouTube counts as essential workers in Australia.
Wow.
But his wife, who teaches children at a school, and his wife teaches those with Down syndrome, retardation, the mentally handicapped. That's what his wife does.
Wow.
She is not considered essential worker. So the reason that I bring this up is because to get into a babysitter, to go to a babysitter place, oh my god, they're not preschools, it's daycares. Jesus, thank God, Brain, we got there eventually. High five. To go into a daycare, you need a permit, and you can only get a permit if you're an essential worker. so they couldn't get a permit for his wife because she's not considered an essential worker. However, they can for him because he does YouTube videos, and that's technically underneath the media classification of essential worker.
What the fuck?
Yeah, that's fucked up. I just want to read a comment quickly too. This is Australia. Refuses to elaborate. Leaves. Okay, look, I'm sorry, but Australia has spiders the size of my fucking cat. That's without nuclear radiation or FEV.
Yeah.
Australia is fucked in the world of Fallout. I'm sorry.
I was like, imagine Australia getting the fucking Fallout
The joke
America
that gets made about Australia is that Australia is such a hostile environment that even the trees want to kill you.
Yes, there's plants there that will drive you to suicide.
No, for anyone that doesn't know, there is a tree in Australia where to reproduce, it tries to put itself on fire. It actually tries to light itself on fire because when it burns off the outer layer of the tree, it actually releases all of its seed and everything so that it can reproduce.
Yeah, that's
so this tree causes forest fires.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why California had that one forest fire. Like, I think it was either last year or the year before that, was because we have a bunch of trees from Australia and they didn't realize that they did that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Which was really dumb. But yeah, I mean, Australia is already this horrifically like dangerous place to be in. Now imagine it getting the fallout radiation treatment with all these creatures. Like there would just nobody would be able to live there.
Imagine radioactive funnel web spiders that are already insanely deadly now, and they're actually spiders that aren't afraid of you. They're actually hostile and aggressive already.
Wait. Fallout Australia opens. War never changes. And it just shows a bunch of emus fighting people.
Oh god, that'd be fucking funny.
Emu war. Oh yeah, the fucking what Kritosis was saying, fucking pungy plants. Imagine that in the Fallout universe, where you just touch it, and then like a minute later, your character is just blowing his own brains out, and there's nothing you can do about it.
It's just funny. Like Australia, the more you learn about Australia, the more it's like, why does anybody live here?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Australia. I'm sorry, Australia. I love you guys, but your nation is fucking terrifying to me. I don't understand it.
I love the
EFAP Gadget in crew. Here. Like, Gadget, explain.
My favorite thing is the EFAP crew who hear all the stuff about Australia and they're like, Australia's not a real place. So now they've gone into the meme where they constantly tell Fringy he doesn't live in Australia because Australia doesn't exist.
Yeah.
$2 from GG Evan 317. Thank you. I thought the joke was Australians were criminals. That was the old one. The new one is, not really new anymore, but everything that lives in Australia that isn't a person wants to kill you.
And even the people want to kill you.
Some of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've basically gone back to being a prison colony again, so have fun with that.
Rip.
Get your phone app, make sure that the government knows where you are at all times, and if you're not where you're supposed to be, you're going to jail.
Yeah. Hobocop says eucalyptus are incinerators from hell dressed up as trees, basically. I do not understand. It's like this is a tree that sets itself on fire to reproduce.
Oh
it's
god,
like
flaming drop bears.
Yeah,
flaming drop bears, Kritosis. They drop on you and they're on fire.
Oh man.
I can just see one of these things screaming as it falls out of the tree and lands on you.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Fallout 3 and written over anything that Black Isle or now Obsidian would have had planned. But now everyone gets to stay in the canon as mentioned previously.
Okay, that is a really bad thing.
Yeah, because they already did write over a bunch of fucking shit, okay?
Yeah, but
they did a ton of damage to the lore and world.
Well, I've got an example too. He just said now everyone has a say in the lore and canon. So the stuff that was established in New Vegas can still be written over and entirely disregarded by Bethesda if they choose. One of the quests in Fallout 4, oh fuck, the Secret of Cabot Manor or fucking whatever, that stupid family, the Alien Cthulhu Helm or whatever. One of those characters will say they want to search the Mojave for a similar crown as to what the father had because they think there's another one out there. So they specifically mention New Vegas in that regard in Fallout 4. And during Kellogg's memory sequence, you see San Francisco, and they mention the She as well. The stuff in New Vegas is not safe. Bethesda could come right in and fucking trample over it anytime they want. It is entirely possible, I doubt it, but it's entirely possible that Fallout 5 might take place Nevada or the general area. Nothing is safe. I'm sorry. Nothing is safe.
Remember EFAP talking about how no one is safe anymore because they keep bringing back dead characters to ruin them in like so many different series. It's like even the people that are dead aren't safe anymore.
Yeah, that's pretty much the position we're in for Fallout.
Full circle too, thanks to all the improvements made in Fallout New Vegas, because Fallout 4 got a big boost from all the things that were made in New Vegas.
No. Bethesda hardly took any lessons from Fallout New Vegas. They saw 4 factions, and they thought, oh, we'll have 4 factions too. And didn't copy any of the reputation system. They didn't copy any of the depth or nuance. They just saw 4 factions. Oh, we'll have 4 factions.
Yep. Yeah, fucking Palpatine wasn't safe.
Yeah.
Guy died in an explosion of the Death Star. Even Palpatine wasn't fucking safe.
That bugs me. That'll always bug me. It's so insanely fucking stupid.
That was insane.
Yeah.
But I think one of the easiest example is companions here. So New Vegas expanded companions. They had companion quests, and they added a lot of personality to companions. Fallout 4 comes along, and there's 4 companion quests out of the, like, dozen companions you can get. Dance's quest isn't really a companion quest. It's part of the Brotherhood of Steel line. Brotherhood of Steel quest line. The only characters out of the dozen or so companions that get their own unique quest is Nick, Kate, Curie, and McCready. And even then, a lot of those quests aren't that good. They're very shallow. Like Nick's quest, for example, it doesn't lead to any significant changes with him. He just gets closure for an insanely stupid and contrived situation. It's fucking retarded. So yeah, they definitely didn't take many lessons from New Vegas.
And if we go in the Fallout 4 main game, we can see that a lot of the ideas in New Vegas got carried over, for aiming down sights.
Oh my
god!
Imagine if they hadn't added that in Fallout 4. What excuse could they possibly have? Oh, well, we just didn't want to copy our older games or copy New Vegas. Dude, it's a baseline thing that should have been in 3. For you to not have it in Fallout 4 would be insane.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just so pathetic. Oh, Bethesda took many lessons from New Vegas. Look, there's iron sight aiming now. Are you fucking kidding me?
Are you joking now?
Let's see what his other points are going to be, because that is horrible.
That was really bad. His next point is going to be weapon modding. I already saw the frame.
Yeah.
But weapon
Nothing
modding
of substance.
But weapon modding isn't. Let's let him make the point, then we'll talk about weapon modding.
For aiming down sights. Modular weapons.
Okay, so that's a different point that I thought he was going to make. There's a difference between modding weapons and modular weapons.
Yeah.
Oh
god.
Fucking okay,
weapon.
let's just ignore that and pretend it's like he fucked up the word. Let's just assume he fucked up the word and he meant weapon modding. The weapon modding system in Fallout 4 is fucking garbage.
Yeah.
It is not good. There's
mention...
many upgrades that are like pure upgrades with no downside. You can mod several weapons into being similar versions as other existing weapons. Okay, here's an example. I was playing Fallout 4 today, getting footage for a video, and I was modifying my 10mm pistol. And one of there's several receiver mods available to me. I think it was a receiver. It doesn't matter. Point is, whatever this mod was, added weight to the weapon, but also increased damage. But there's another mod available that increased damage more and didn't come with the weight penalty. That is a straight upgrade. And there's many upgrades like that in the entire weapon modification system. It's just generally not handled that well.
Yeah. So, let's backtrack a bit here, because I think, as far as I know, there's no survival mode in Fallout 4, but I think he just made the thing.
Yeah, they added one later.
Well, let's... Sorry. Sorry.
Mate.
Sorry. Hey, what you want a boot? Sorry.
And every gun is just a fucking like World War II, a fucking like army surplus thing, or an SKS.
Okay.
For instance, aiming down sights, modular weapons, enhanced item crafting for making stuff like drugs and steaks, companions who have...
So he doesn't even talk about it being a survival mode. Okay, so this must have been before they did survival, I guess, maybe?
Oh well, it was definitely out by then.
So, I forgot to unmute myself for a minute there. Sorry.
No, we heard from 2019.
Stream chat didn't hear me.
Oh, stream chat didn't hear you.
Yeah, it shouldn't have been too long though. Sorry, everyone.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I think this video came in 2018 or 2019. Okay. And survival mode was added like a few months after. It was like 4 or 5 months after release.
Okay, fair. All right, yeah, so it would have been in there. But it's funny that he didn't. Yeah, it's funny that he didn't mention survival mode itself. Maybe because they had to re-add it later.
Also,
but he mentions like enhanced crafting, and just like what?
Also, I might have been muted for that super chat, so I'm just gonna read it again just in case. $5 from GG Evan 317. Thank you. Fallout Canada would be nuts. Mutated maple trees, moose knuckles for a Deathclaw gauntlet, and every NPC saying sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Sorry, everyone, for accidentally muting myself there. I meant to unmute myself. I was just... My computer chair is kind of old, so it makes sounds when I move. So if I'm, like, adjusting how I'm sitting, I try to mute myself, so it's not, like, coming through the microphone.
So like a true Canadian, Kurtosa says, sorry.
Well, there's genuinely something to apologize over.
Sorry.
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 Sorry. Anyways.
Or making drugs and steaks. Companions who have actual character writing and quest line them.
Okay, so again, only 4 companions have a quest. Only 4.
Yeah.
Strong doesn't have a quest. Piper doesn't have a unique companion quest. I can't remember the rest. I don't really care about Fallout 4's companions overall. They didn't really make me do anything to care. But yeah.
Yeah, you can find friendly Deathclaws. Just play Fallout 2.
Yep. I really do like the idea of the talking Deathclaws.
Yeah. And if you know what you're doing and you can fight the Enclave quick enough and attack Navarro quick enough, you can actually save them, which is really nice.
Yeah, I want to try that at some point.
A localized reputation. although it's not so overt as compared to New Vegas.
Hold the fuck on.
Companions who have actual character writing and quest lines assigned to them. A localized reputation system.
No. No, there is no reputation system in Fallout 4. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, that's one of the criticisms people make
A
about the game.
localized reputation system, although it's not as overt as Fallout New Vegas, is what he said. It's not as overt.
That's not even
Oh,
true,
you mean by
though,
not
'cause
fucking existing? Yeah, that's pretty not overt.
Exactly.
yeah, that's pretty not overt. Goddamn.
That is pretty subtle. They don't, they committed non-exist.
Oh.
Yeah, you can save the death clause in Fallout 2. You just have to get to the Enclave before the Enclave launches Big Strike. You're on a very, very strict time limit after the power plant, I want to say. And they're like, okay, Chucklefuck. It's like, yeah. Then I think you have 13 in-game days before they attack.
Wow, that's really not a lot.
Yeah, it is not. You need to be on the ball.
And you need to finish off the oil rig to save them, right?
You need to finish off the oil tanker, get power armor training. Highly recommend get power armor training. You don't need it, but good luck. Or get power armor, and if you don't need it, but yeah, you good fucking luck if you don't have power armor and you go into Navarro and the oil rig.
Overt compared to New Vegas. And multiple factions that are all tied into the main overarching plot of the game, which you can choose to side with, as opposed to just, hey, hang out with these guys whether you're good or evil and get to the end of the game.
Okay, so that's not inherently a good or a bad thing either way. Having joinable factions that go to war with each other and you destroy the other factions is not inherently a good thing, as proven by Fallout 4. They handled their factions absolutely fucking terribly across the board. It's not okay. Ideally we would have a situation like New Vegas where there is a choice between factions and it's written well. There's a lot of depth and nuance to the factions. If we can't have that, I would rather have a situation where you can only side with one faction against a faction you can never join, as long as the writing is good. That is preferable to what Fallout 4 did, because what Fallout 4 did was such fucking garbage that it's just bad.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Didn't Two Talking Deathclaw survive, though? Yes. You have the one that's your companion and another one that gets away, but I don't remember the other one that gets away. But your companion survives, yes.
I didn't even know about the one that got away. All I knew about was Goris, which, man, he's a good companion.
He really fucking is. There is just something so cool about, like, a dude picking a fight with you. He pulls a knife and fucking Goris throws off his robe and he's a death and the guy's like, oh, fuck.
Yeah. And there's also, the mental visual image of you're driving down the road to whichever location you're going to, and you've just got this massive fucking Deathclaw in your passenger seat or back seat. Yeah. Anyways.
Finds the best elements of Fallout 3 and New Vegas to give us a worthy successor to the Fallout franchise.
Oh my
No.
god.
Establish it as a franchise that's here to stay. Shame about current events, really. Fallout is perfect, and even a step backwards in a few areas, like the skill checks are non-existent, leveling is now kind of weird, and base weapons you can modify. Even with all the modification variants, there still aren't as many weapons as there were in previous games. And yeah, while settlement building can be fun, it also is a huge time waster sometimes, because you're going to need to figure out how to make an intricate network of trade routes that all go everywhere except for your Red Rocket station, and then just have one guy going back and forth for Red Rocket so that you can craft without being disturbed by raiders attacking your base. It's whatever though, it's still better than 76, so we can play forward in the meantime when we wait for Fallout 5.
Oh my god.
No, I don't even want to do that. Fuck off.
I really don't want to see Fallout 5. I really don't.
No, I really want the series to just end at this point, to be honest.
Yeah. Sometimes it's better.
Let it die before it gets worse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just let it
Or,
die.
or, again, if somebody at Microsoft, if somebody there gives it to Obsidian for whatever reason, oh boy, I will be so happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is the only way I would want to see it continue.
Yeah.
I just don't.
Yeah.
Bethesda.
Oof. Here to stay after 76. Wow.
Yeah, it's the same thing with Starfield earlier, where, yes, it's possible Bethesda might make a fucking amazing Fallout 5. I don't think they're going to. I have no
Yeah.
faith in them to do so. I
Yeah.
only acknowledge that the possibility exists. I
And
don't.
why would they? After, I mean, they've literally been, like, proven to themselves that, hey, we can make actual dog shit, and people
And-
will just eat it up and buy it no matter what. So we can
Well,
just keep doing it over and over
not
again.
not just eat it up and buy it, but actively defend it to everyone else too.
Yeah,
there's-
exactly.
Like
They have
everything
no
that
incentive.
yeah, no incentive to. It's already been proven that whatever the fuck they make is going to sell. The fact that 76 was successful is
Terrifying.
Yeah, that says everything you need to know right
depressing
Yeah.
because it's telling Bethesda that anything will do. This garbage. We don't have to put much effort into it. We released a game that was fucking broken on launch beyond belief. It was a terrible disaster.
there. Completely
And-
empty.
Yeah,
Devoid
highly
of
recommend.
NPCs.
Highly recommend watching Internet Historians fucking Fallout, the Fall of 76. It is so fucking good.
Yeah.
And especially, I will never get Todd Howard dressed up as a Teletubby with a shotgun out of my head. It's so fucking fun.
That image is amazing.
Yeah.
with a shotgun to ban everybody, and a blindfold so he couldn't see where he was shooting.
I'd like you to take away from this video is that both Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas are great games that built off one another's success, and it shouldn't be seen
What?
so
They
much as a
absolutely did not. Wait,
No.
did you say Fallout 3 built off of Fallout New Vegas' success?
He said they built off one another's success, which makes no
Yeah.
fucking sense.
Yeah, you
yeah.
can't. That makes no sense. And also, he's proven that by his own statements that Fallout 3 was not good.
Yeah. Holy
He's literally
shit.
contradicted himself this whole video that Fallout 3 is a horrible, awful game, and Fallout New Vegas is an infinitely better game. But then he just circles back around to saying that Fallout 3 is amazing, even though he's literally said himself that it's not. I don't get it. I don't get how you can be so scatterbrained that you can't realize, like, yeah, I'm just going to sit here and shit on Fallout 3 for the next, 10 minutes, and then I'm going to cycle back around to saying it's good again, right after, without saying anything good about it.
Yeah.
How can you do that?
Mechanical Numbrario gives us $20 and says, miss time-sensitive missions like you mentioned before, saving the talking death claws. Absolutely would love missions like that in the newer games, but it kills me that developers don't like that kind of stuff for the audience.
Yeah, I
There
agree
is
with that.
a modern misconception in game design that the players must be able to experience every single aspect of content the first
Yeah,
time
and
through.
and
And it's
that's-
really dumb because that destroys replayability.
Absolutely, and that's definitely a part of the problem with modern Bethesda. I will give them points for making different faction paths in Fallout 4 and actually giving them different quest lines for the most part.
Oh yeah.
However,
know
those
something
quest lines are still fucking garbage. And this idea that the player has to be able to experience everything has led to games like Oblivion and Fallout 3 and Skyrim, where generally there's very little changes if you do have a choice, but for the most part, you can do everything without restriction. It is dumb.
And if you want to make yourselves upset, did Vapid Zero says, did everyone see the new limited edition merch of Caesar's Legion from Bugthesda? Still trying to milk a game they did nothing to make and actively try to derail. Yep.
Yeah, I saw that. And there's also the Yes Man statue.
Yeah.
Hey
If-
guys, I know we're shitting on Bethesda, but I just figured out I can make a potion of Fortify Intelligence 42,000 for 36 hours in Morrowind. Yep, that's Morrowind's alchemy system.
Dude, it's so fucking good.
Because
they let you do crazy stuff like that. That's what makes it so enjoyable.
I was visiting my brother several months ago, and he has the new Xbox and Game Pass. So I downloaded Morrowind and started playing it, and I started doing the alchemy glitch. I got all the materials I needed. I got an insane amount of gold, and I made a shit ton of Fortify Strength potions that last like 200 hours or whatever. And they increased it strength by like 500 or 600 each potion. And I started fucking chugging them to the point the game fucking crashed.
Let's see. You can become Archmage of the Winterhold College while knowing/casting 0 spells. You have to know one spell.
Yeah,
which is the flame spell off the bat. Because it's forced on you. Everybody knows that spell.
Yeah, everybody starts off with flame and heal. And Dark Elves get shock, and one of the other races get one spell as well, in addition to flame and heal.
But essentially, you don't need to learn any new spells, and you don't have to cast a single spell at all. The entire
I thought there was at least one you had to do.
Nope, turns out you don't.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
There are ways to get around it. Like you don't have to do the entry one. You can do a speech check on that. You don't have to do the the barrier spell.
Yeah,
you can
the ward.
actually use a special shield that does the ward effect.
Really?
You don't have to do anything to open up the wall that requires magic to open. A dragon shout will do.
Oh.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking brutal.
Wow. That's fucked.
No, you don't need to cast a ward. It was found out you can use a shield that will actually do it for you. You don't actually need to cast a ward. That was one of the big breakthroughs when they figured out that you didn't have to cast ward. So now you literally don't have to do any spells ever.
Is better, but more about how these two games came together and eventually made something better than the both of them.
He's saying Fallout 4. He's like, one, they didn't come together, and two, Fallout 4 is not better.
Oh
no,
no,
not even remotely.
Yeah,
In fact, I would say Fallout 3 is better than Fallout 4, and that's holy shit. That is not something you want.
Yeah, the Spellbreaker shield. That's what does it.
Holy fucking shit. How can you say Fallout 4 is better? And this is in 2019 too. This is after like a lot of the analysis videos came out tearing Fallout 4 apart for its shit fucking story and everything.
Again, he's a Bethesda fanboy. He
clearly
already said that he came into the series with 3, and he was super grateful that he came in with 3 and everything. It's just like, oh god.
Wow.
He probably just watched an Oxworm video and said, oh my god, you know what? You're right. Fallout 3 and all these other things are amazing. I should make my own video. That's literally how it feels, because it feels like he did absolutely no research.
Yeah, this is dog shit.
He has gotten nothing correct. And then he actively fucking contradicts himself like every 5 seconds, where he shits on Fallout 3 and talks about how terrible it is, but then turns right around and says it's amazing.
Yeah, it's so fucking weird. And then New Vegas and 3 came together and they built Fallout 4. It's like, how did you fucking say that line?
How did you come to this conclusion?
Yeah.
Jesus
it
Christ.
Makes no sense.
Yeah. It's so fucking weird. And again, I don't, Kurtosis and Pagan came in with 3. I'm the fucking weirdo that was in the series long before 3 came out. Yeah, oh boy.
I wasn't expecting a take that fucking insane from this video, I've got to be honest.
Yeah, me either. Like I said, I can't believe...
and New Vegas came together to make something better than themselves. What the fuck? What the absolute fuck?
It's fucking crazy.
May or may not be better because they're both good and both should be enjoyed. I'm holding out for Bethesda together with Fallout 76, maybe in 2 years, a la No Man's Sky, and
Allah? It's Allah.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah,
Why does he keep
doesn't
doing
fucking
that?
matter. But again, you didn't prove at all that Fallout 3 was a good game, and nobody said the game can't be enjoyed. Okay, you made an objective statement on the quality of the game, not on people enjoying it or not.
Yeah.
And also he keeps making points that he doesn't back up about Fallout New Vegas that he provides no examples for, no citations whatsoever.
Yeah.
But we'll just say these random things about New Vegas that just aren't true.
Well, he
Yeah.
didn't elaborate on any of his points either. He just said Fallout 3 did this, and this is why New Vegas took it and made it better.
Yeah, it's fucking weird. Like, why can't, I don't know why. What switched in people's brains where they can no longer admit they just like bad things?
I don't
Like,
know,
it
but
is-
it's really
it is
weird.
It is perfectly okay to like bad things. It is perfectly okay to be wrong. You're not a terrible, immoral, subhuman piece of shit if you like bad things or you get things wrong.
Yeah.
I don't get where this fucking mindset ever came from.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I mean, I know where the get things wrong thing came from. It came from, schools teaching you're a terrible person if you get things wrong and everybody's special.
Yeah.
And that's really dumb because if you're wrong about something, that's just an opportunity to learn.
Yes, I
That's all that
I
is.
love finding out I'm wrong about something so I can get some new information and dive into things. I love that shit. It feels good because now you get to be like, I get to better myself. I get to learn something new and go into it. It's the same thing with the microchip thing. So people know that when we do the Fallout streams, I keep accidentally saying that Fallout universe didn't have microchips, and that's the divergence. It does have microchips. The problem was that was a long-running theory from Fallout 1 and 2 days that was what it was, and Black Owl came out and said, no, that's not true at all. We have microchips. They just didn't emphasize miniaturization. So that's why we have vacuum tubes, everything like that, because, miniaturization wasn't needed. They didn't see it as like a big deal. But it's stuff like that. It's like, I know it's wrong and I'm trying to fix it every time. But I like the fact that the old theory that got baked into our heads for years and years of Fallout 1 and 2 is wrong. And I get to look like, here's the reason why. Here's the stuff that says it's wrong from the creators and everything like that. And it's like, that's cool. I like doing stuff like that. I enjoy that feeling of correcting something that was wrong, that I got wrong.
Yeah. Do you guys use the No Mutants Allowed site? I don't go on forums. I've never liked forums.
Yeah,
So.
I don't care for forums.
I think it was Alton Brown who said it the best. Forums are the worst idea in the history of feedback because the only people that use forums are the people that are so dedicated enough to get on said forums, and they are the ones you don't want to hear the opinions of.
Yeah.
And hell, nowadays a lot of forums will ban you for having the wrong opinion.
Yeah.
So you really don't want to use forums now.
Why are we here? Just to suffer? At least the panel, everyone on call right now is here to suffer. I'm hoping everyone in chat is having a good time. I'm not.
We're almost
dying.
almost done. We're almost done.
And don't get me wrong, I do enjoy doing these streams. They are a bit of fun, but man, dealing with some of these arguments is pain.
I like being able to talk to you guys. That's the only thing that's gets me through these things. It's like I like talking to you guys, but the videos themselves make me want to blow my brains out.
Yeah,
I like
but
we
at
had
least
that big. Remember last time when we had that big discussion about which faction did we think was the best for the Mojave? We actually were able to have a full-on conversation about it.
Exactly.
It's fucking good time.
Everyone likes bad things. I like bad things. I like playing Dust Bowl. That's one of the worst maps in the game, and I love Dust Bowl. I like Dust Bowl. It's a fun map to play in Team Fortress 2. And then there's that song too. Oh fuck, I forget how it goes. It's a parody of some Christmas song. I forget though. Anyways, we're almost done here. There's only a couple minutes left.
In the Brotherhood of Steel video, it sounds like a great core concept to have a AAA experience for something like Rust, but it's just extremely poorly executed. However, unlike Fallout Brotherhood of Steel, this is still redeemable. I'm just gonna have to sit and wait for them to figure out how they're gonna redeem it. Right now, the best we can do is know that...
How is Fallout 76 redeemable?
I think from the perspective that, okay, it's an online game, they can change anything at any point, surely they must be able to fix it. My problem is there's already too much damage to the lore from 76.
Yeah. I gotta agree there. I don't know how you could fix things without like saying, oh, it didn't happen. Like full on retconning, nope, none of this happened. It's over.
Yeah, they have to retcon 76 itself to fix issues at this point.
They couldn't accept the fact that, because for years I had been criticizing that people are so willing to accept trash that one day studios will be able to sell shells of games where there literally is nothing in the game yet, but they can promise that there will be, and people will still buy it for full price. People made fun of me for saying that, and then Fallout 76 happened.
Well,
Yeah.
we also got Anthem.
And we got
Oh,
Anthem.
yeah.
Yep, we got Anthem too. People will buy shells of games where there's literally nothing in it yet for full price, as long as they are promised that there will be something later.
I've heard it's a lot better now, but wasn't Sea of Thieves in that position too?
Yeah, for a while.
And Sea of Thieves is supposedly a lot better now too.
Yeah, I remember Vinesauce streaming it like last year or the year before, and it looked interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's definitely a big issue with the customers of the industry right now, is people are way too willing to buy a promise, essentially. That's the whole pre-order thing as well, and just the buying something in the hopes that the developers will stick with it long enough to turn into something substantive. That's not a good way to buy games, people. I know most people in chat are going to know that already, but I just gotta stress it for the people who don't pre-order, don't buy incomplete game. Like, okay, if you're getting something on early access on Steam, that's one thing. Some of those could turn out to be good, but just know that there's a chance of getting burned. You could end up with a Starforge where the developers barely do anything and fucking drop it and never do anything with it. But yeah, don't get on the hype train is all I've got to say. Do not get on the hype train. If something turns out to be good that you're interested in, treat it as a pleasant surprise, not the expectation.
Yeah.
Now, it's not to be cynical or, like, depressing or anything, but that's just a fact that there is a chance that you could put out $60, $70, $80 on a game, or even over $100 if you're getting special editions and whatever, only for it to turn out to be crap and you regret buying it.
Yeah, it's always better to temper your expectations to the point where you should expect that this is not going to be good. And if it is, then hey, guess what? You're going to feel a lot better about it. Whereas if you felt like, oh, this game is going to be super amazing, and it comes out and it's mediocre or bad, you're going to feel like shit.
Yeah. $2 from Peaky the Cat. Thank you. The only way to fix Fallout lore is a soft reboot. See, I don't even necessarily think that's the case. Remake Fallout 3 and fix all the story issues it has. Scrub 76 from the lore, and fuck, I don't know. You probably need to remake Fallout 4 as well.
Just incinerate 4. Pretend it never happened. Just incinerate it.
Yeah, just retcon it entirely.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I don't think we necessarily need a soft reboot, but we need to start taking the axe to some of this shit because, my god, the damage it's doing.
Yeah, absolutely.
5 is going to eventually, and that Bethesda knows a lot better than to try and clown around with some mainline installment of one of their biggest franchises. We don't have to worry about a world of...
Do they? Do they?
All they've done is clown around in Fallout.
That's all they do. What are you
and
talking about?
in Skyrim. Like, holy fuck, what do you mean they know better than to clown around? That is crazy.
What is this guy even... Oh my god, dude.
I backtracked
What is
a
this
little bit.
video?
$2 from GG Evan 317. Didn't the T-51B helmet cause people to get sick? I don't know if anyone got sick from it, but...
It had mold, but I don't know if anyone actually got sick.
Yeah. And that wasn't the special edition helmet. That was
the GameSpot version, I think.
Yeah.
Or GameStop version, one of the two.
One of them. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The point is, one of the helmets had mold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also remember the fucking Coca-Cola or the Nuka-Cola bottle thing.
Oh god, yes.
It was supposed to be like an actual glass.
You know what?
Nuka-Cola in this shape, but it was just a plastic covering for a whiskey bottle.
Yeah, that's so fucking stupid. If it was an actual glass bottle, I might have bought that for the sake of having it.
And it was expensive.
Okay.
Way more expensive than the actual product took to make.
I just have to make myself clear for chat. I'm sorry. I love dumb collectible bullshit sometimes. I would have probably bought that bottle if it was actually just a bottle. The fact that it's a plastic shell is fucking retarded.
Yep. Everyone was pissed off about it because it's like... And it even looked in the marketing like it was a glass bottle of Nuka-Cola, but it turned out to just be this fucking super cheap whiskey that you could get for like $1 at the store.
It was
this like
fucking
super cheap
horrible.
plastic. Yeah, this super cheap plastic over it, and then it was like way more expensive than it was to actually make.
And you couldn't pour from the bottle correctly because of the way they designed it and everything like that, so it would literally go everywhere.
Yeah.
And
I'm
when
willing
you
to bet
it was like the cheapest, nastiest fucking alcohol you'd ever had.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm willing to bet most people wouldn't have bought it if they knew in advance it's going to be a shitty, cheap plastic shell over a bottle. Like, how fucking disrespectful of your customers.
Yep.
Oh man, the videos I saw of people reacting to getting that shit, it was kind of heartbreaking, to be honest. It was, I felt so bad for some of these people.
The funniest part of the Nuka Dark Rum thing is when they said it cost more to make it as a plastic shell than it would have if it were made of glass.
Oh,
yeah, and they said they spent hundreds of hours designing this, which nobody fucking believed.
Just like they did with the shooting mechanics of Fallout 3.
Yeah, I was just about to say, that's pretty typical of Bethesda quality at this point.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Anyways, I wound the video back just a bit because we paused in the middle of a sentence.
Figure out how they're going to redeem it. Right now, the best we can do is know that Fallout 5 is going to come eventually, and that Bethesda knows a lot better than to try and clown around with a mainline installment of one of their biggest franchises. We don't have to worry about a World of Warcraft type situation, because even with Elder Scrolls Online, we're still getting Elder Scrolls 6. And
what do you mean?
Because it's not made by the same company. Like, what the fuck?
And we don't want a Fallout 5 from fucking
Bethesda,
and they haven't learned their lessons. What are you talking about? If anything, they're more likely to fuck it up now because of Fallout 76 and Fallout 4.
All right, he wasn't clear about, he didn't specify what he meant for the World of Warcraft situation there. So I was kind of mystified for a second because I was thinking of like Shadowlands and Battle for Azeroth, where these expansions are fucking garbage. And I was thinking, what do you mean we're not going to have to worry about a World of Warcraft situation? World of Warcraft has gone to shit. Fallout is going to shit. Of course, there's reason to worry about the next game. What he was referring to is, by World of Warcraft situation, he meant where they make the MMO and never make another installment in the mainline series.
Yeah.
So that was just a point that needs clarification more than anything on his end.
And Fallout, this is not going to be a game that has much staying power by the way this is going.
You want to bet?
They're probably working on it right now. So for now, just mod Fallout 4 to high heaven to pass the time, or maybe New Vegas or 3, whatever you want. Thank you all so much for watching the
God
video,
it's over.
and I will see in the next one.
I'm glad there's like a minute and a half of fucking Patreon scrolling and whatever else.
I just gotta make sure that there's no like cheeky last second things, you know?
Yeah.
Hold on.
Oh yeah, that's another thing about the Half-Life video. The guy said he was done and he was wrapping up his video with 10 minutes left, and we were like, what the fuck could possibly be at the end of this video? And he went on for another 10 minutes with stupid bullshit.
Yeah, about the fucking G-Man.
Oh god. We're gonna get into another rant if we get into that.
Alright, here we go. Because there's a last little thing here. It said something about his wife told him to put it in or something. I don't know. Here we go.
Yep.
I tried to get as close to it as it was. Here we go.
Yeah.
The coyote rattlesnake hybrid dumbass.
Where did I get mountain lion from?
What the hell was that? Why, what?
It was
what,
just
the
a
flip?
funny... Yeah, it was just a funny clip that flew into the air and did a spin!
Yeah.
$5 from Peaky the Cat, thank you. If Fallout 76 succeed, there most certainly would have never been another mainline Fallout game. I'd bet good money on that. I wouldn't.
I wouldn't. They'd already said that they'd planned to make a Fallout 5 eventually anyway, regardless of 76. And that was before it had like fully released, so yeah, no, I don't think that for a second.
Legitimately the best part of that video is a little bit of footage we got of the cat there at the end.
Yeah.
Very cute
and I
cat,
liked
10
some
out
of the
of 10.
background music.
Yeah, some of the background music too. Yeah.
That was it. That was all I liked about it. Everything else was just, what the fuck are you even talking about? You did no research. You've contradicted yourself 100 times throughout the video.
Yeah, that was fucking terrible.
What was this? Just actually, what was this?
I don't know. Because I can't imagine making a video like this, because it's just... I guess it's just antithetical to the way I work, because if I'm gonna make an argument that this is good for this reason, this is bad for that reason, I want evidence or a very strong argument to back up what I'm saying. Not just, hey, this is this, you know? It's
even
really
just one simple example.
Yeah, that's the worst part.
That.
Yeah.
And what was worse was the examples he did give were like proving him wrong.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
He was like, and Fallout 3 is a good game, a great game, in fact, and it still holds up today. And then he keeps talking about how like it's a dead, lifeless world, doesn't feel like much thought was put into it. The stuff is boring, but it did all the groundwork for New Vegas. Like, what?
Yeah.
So how are you? Remember, your claim was that Fallout 3 is a good game, and that because it's a good game, Fallout New Vegas is a good game. It's the only way that works. It's like, well, okay, you're gonna have a lot of work here to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he would say shit like,
it basically
they
was
took this. He was saying like
ahead,
they took shit like this from 3, and it's like, no, that's literally from Fallout 2. They skipped 3, went back to 2.
Well,
and he keeps doing that. He keeps fucking like putting stuff like what's the word? He's like giving 3 credit for something that was in 2 that 3 didn't even have.
My favorite example still is the whole reputation system thing, where, you know, Fallout 3 had these groups you can interact with, but New Vegas expanded on it by adding the reputation system. No, motherfucker, the system's from the original games.
Yeah. Exactly.
How do you say that's...
Fucking... His comment about Fallout 4 having fucking localized reputation systems by not existing. It's just so subtle that they don't exist.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
What
insane.
the fuck?
The only thing I can think he's possibly referencing is that you could become permanently hostile to the Brotherhood and the Institute, and I think even the Railroad under certain circumstances. But even then, that's not a reputation system. It's a light switch. You're either friendly with them or you're hostile with them. There's no... It does... There's no complex faction interactions in that way. It's just a switch they flip at a certain point. Like, doing quests for the Institute won't turn the Brotherhood against you until you do the one quest where it's scripted they turn against you permanently. The game will even tell you, hey, the Brotherhood's gonna hate you forever after this.
Yeah.
That's not a reputation system. In the slightest. Oh man, what a terrible fucking video.
It really was.
Yeah.
It really.
That was probably
lost.
the worst video that I have
You're back
covered
with-
with you guys.
Maybe.
Like the Oxhorn videos were bad, but this I don't think we've covered one in terms of like where I was with you guys that
Yeah.
was this bad.
I think the Half-Life 2 video was still worse than this, but
yeah, that's why I was saying with you.
yeah,
because
no,
I'm
I know.
like,
I know.
I think the Half-Life 2 one might have been worse, but holy shit, this was bad.
Yeah, I know you weren't here for the Half-Life 2 video, but what I was starting to say is I think that one was worse, but even the Oxhorn video, a lot of it was just rambling and repeating the same point over and over again, which, yeah, that's fucking annoying. And he did say some insane shit in his video, but he didn't... It wasn't this level of bad.
Yeah, it wasn't this level of like not researched.
Yeah.
I mean, like the dumb shit of like Star Wars wasn't influential was insane. That was I don't know why he would say something like that. Like, you'd have to be completely retarded to say something like that. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I still feel like this was more insane. I feel like Oxhorn is just more toxic than he is insane.
Yeah, that's
but
probably fair.
This guy is just insane.
Yeah, or he's really suffering from that delusion where they can't see the fault in stuff that they like.
Fanboyitis.
Yeah.
Which is weird that he can't see it when he can literally
When he keeps
name...
talking about it, yeah.
he can name off the things that are wrong with it and that he doesn't like, and it to the point where he basically talks about the whole game being bad, but then can just turn right back around again and say it's amazing. And I'm just like, how can you say all that stuff about how bad it is, but then immediately turn right back around and say, oh, but it's good? And then, of course, there was that one thing where we were making fun of him about, like, because he was being so reductive that literally all these games are basically the same if he believes that. And then he fucking did it.
Yeah,
He was like, Oblivion and Skyrim are exactly the same as Fallout 3. They're all the same game.
Yeah, he realized his own fucking logical fallacy, and then
Oh my
like
God.
instead of like reversing and being like, no wait, that was actually a dumb take. No, he stuck with.
I've got something else to point out here. Look at this fucking thumbnail. Fixing Interplay's mistakes. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, what mistakes did they make? What are you talking about? You didn't even mention any of the mistakes they made. You made plenty about Bethesda's in Fallout 3, but you didn't say shit about fucking Interplay's mistakes. They didn't make any mistakes.
Well, no,
they made
apparently
mistakes,
he did
but...
mention Brotherhood of Steel. That was his mistake.
Okay, but that's like...
one game that no one cares about.
And still, none of this fixes that mistake if you count it to be a mistake. So, anything to discuss while we're still on stream?
Well, I suppose we can talk about the Elder Scrolls video. The script for it has gone shockingly well.
Yeah, it's probably going to lead to a smaller video, just so everyone knows. Don't expect, like, a 4-hour video for part 1. But, we've been playing through it pretty quickly, and, we're gonna reread it and go over it a few times to make sure everything's, like, filled out. Yeah. But, for this first part, we're mostly just focusing on...
Mechanics.
yeah, mainly the mechanical elements and a few other things somewhat related to them, for the most part. Part 2 is when we'll really be digging into the story and the Civil War. No idea when that's coming.
Yeah, and we'll mention bits and pieces about stuff in part 2, but we gotta talk about the world building too, because holy fuck.
Yeah. I'm not sure what part we're gonna put the world building in, but there's so much wrong on that front. Holy fuck.
We could talk about it a bit in the Civil War, actually, because it kind of fits in with the whole, like, it doesn't feel like this is actually a rebellion, like, at all.
Yeah.
Rebellion.
Yeah, it is so fucking... There's nothing that makes it sound like a rebellion, and...
Well, hey, I just realized it is a rebellion, because, Ulfric Stormcloak read the old High King to death.
Yeah, that's what I was. That's what I was making the joke about. Was the rebellion?
He's such a fucking coward too. Oh my god.
Yeah, what a pussy to do that shit. Come on.
Yeah, couldn't fight him like man to man. Actually had to cheat. And I know people were like, but he had to train to get the way of the voice. Yeah, but he held it in his sleeve, knowing it would be a sneaky attack. It was a fucking. It was a whatchamacallit, cheap shot. It was when you punch somebody out of the blue, out of nowhere, they're not expecting it.
Yeah, especially when they talk, the way they talk about how this king went, like he was a young kid. Everyone seemed to like him, and like from the guards, apparently like the people who had to like clean up the mess afterwards said like he shouted him apart.
Yeah, that's what they say. They shouted him into pieces.
And it's like, how the fuck is that considered honorable in any kind of way?
Yeah.
Like, how are you getting people defending you after doing something like that?
Yeah,
a kid.
They even mention it in the afterlife when you see him, and he says that his honor is intact, but Ulfric can't say the same.
Yeah, and it's just like
a sucker punch. There you go. Yeah, a sucker punch.
Yeah, it's a sucker punch. And I'm wondering, like, did this kid beat his ass and then he fucking used that shit, or did he just like come in with that? Like, didn't even give him a chance.
Yeah, so fucking.
Either way, it looks bad on Ulfric because he either got his ass kicked by a kid and then basically used a cheat move to win, or he just straight up sucker punched him without even giving him a chance to fight.
Yeah. Kritosis, I recently watched 11 hours video analysis of Oblivion by Patrician TV. You're running for your money now, Owlman. Everyone, go check out I keep fucking up his name. I'm sorry, Patrician. Everyone go check out Patrician's video on Oblivion. It's really fucking good. But just so everyone knows, it's 12 hours fucking long. But it's really good.
Let's see.
Run for your money.
There's a couple people mentioning more about Charlatan Wonder in here. I have to scroll up for this one comment. Charlatan Wonder is one of the worst creators I could think of right now. I'm not sure reacting to more of his videos is a good idea, and I'm amazed you guys made it through this one. Yeah, this was pretty painful. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, this was a slog. This was a huge slog.
And someone else was saying, let's see, where is it?
Oh, he's not really. I'm looking at, by the way, the Jarl. I'm looking at Jarl Torrig, and he's not really a kid.
Check out his DLC tier list video for Fallout. Man, after this, I'm kind of afraid to see what his DLC tier list might look like.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I'd be fucking terrified. The Ulfric attack is like in Gladiator when the Emperor stabbed Maximus before the final duel. That's exactly what I put. I said it was the same thing. Like, it would have been as if he came in with like a poisoned blade if Ulfric had done that. That's kind of the dirty fucking pool that he played.
Yeah. Anyways, I guess if we have nothing else to really talk about, we could probably end the stream here.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Before we go, to everyone in chat, thank you for coming out. It's very much appreciated. We are still planning on doing more of these streams. We don't have any other videos planned at the moment, but we will be doing more of these streams at some point in the future, and we're still looking for names to name the streams, so feel free to hop into the Discord server and put your name suggestions in the suggestions channel, or just comment on this video with whatever name suggestions you have. Yeah. Preferably something we can abbreviate, so it's easy to just, like, say, whatever. Similar to EFAP, I guess, but I don't want, like, to, like, steal their name or anything close to their name, so...
Furfap.
Yeah. No! No! God damn it, Pagan. Why the fuck did you...
I was thinking of OW, OOW, objective owl watching. No, but yeah, there's stuff like that.
But yeah. Anyways, have a good night, everyone. Thank you for coming out. It's greatly appreciated. Final note, this stream and the first part of it will be taken down similar to the Half-Life 2 stream. And I'm going to combine them into one video and re-upload them because my fucking internet went out and goddamn, that's annoying.
People are saying Furfap in the
No! God damn it, Pagan!
I couldn't help it.
There are some who would call it Tim.
Wow.
Fucking love that joke in Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Call it Tim.
Anyways, yeah, that's it. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you for coming out.